Brian Kelly and Notre Dame visit Colorado Springs for the first time since 2006, trying to close out October a perfect 3-0. But Falcon Stadium will be filled with cadets looking for the upset as they hope to beat the Irish here at the Academy for the first time in 18 years. Notre Dame and Air Force set to meet for the 30th time. Today's glory is not determined by yesterday's results. 29 meetings spanning over 50 years, and most resulting with one similar outcome, a Notre Dame victory. The Irish captured the first 11 meetings in the series, dominating the 60s and 70s. And then the Falcons won 4 straight in the early 80s. Since then, the Air Force Academy has only managed 2 victories in the last 14 meetings. While the series results may be lopsided, a program built on service and honor always has a chance. This season, both schools have seen ups and downs, but both arrive with the single purpose of defending the tradition and honor of their programs. Will it be the Irish again, or will the Falcons rise up? It is a picturesque day in Colorado Springs. Just a perfect late October afternoon, and there's a buzz in the air at Falcon Stadium. It's been a rough ride this year for Air Force, but one win changes the season. The fans are fired up as Notre Dame visits for the first time in 7 years. The Irish coming off an emotional win over USC. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us on CBS Sports Network. I'm Andrew Catalan. Notre Dame received a scare last week, both from USC and Tommy Rees. But the Irish held on to beat their rivals, and their starting quarterback is good to go. Rees went down in the third quarter against the Trojans. Lamar Dawson with the big hit. Rees suffered a neck strain. He did not return. The senior was sore on Sunday and Monday, but cleared to practice on Tuesday, and he will start today. The offense sputtered without him. Backup Andrew Hendricks did not complete a pass against USC, and Notre Dame did not score with Rees on the sidelines. Rees will be without his starting right guard today as we take a look at the icy hot injury report. Christian Lombard underwent back surgery. He's out for the year, and Lewis Nix did not make the trip to Colorado. He's week to week with knee tendonitis. As I bring in my partner, former Notre Dame captain Aaron Taylor. And Aaron, Notre Dame fans got a glimpse of life without Tommy Rees last week, and quite frankly, it wasn't pretty.
Yeah, I don't think Irish fans knew how good they had it with Tommy Rees, and in Rees's defense, he probably had his best 2 quarters of football that he had played all year prior to going down. But Andrew, on the road, you got to bring your defense and your running game. So I'd look for the Irish to rely heavily on that offensive line and get that ball in space to their athletic playmakers.
It was the Notre Dame defense that won that game last week against USC. Much different challenge this afternoon against a smaller Air Force team. One of the keys defensively for the Irish, contain the Falcons on the perimeter.
Yeah, they're going to have to be assignment sound and have some eye discipline. So let's take a look at the CBS Eye Vision brought to you by the new LG G2 and see what that can look like. Air Force will run some tempo, so Notre Dame has to be able to get lined up. Their safeties have to be able to diagnose what's going on. Once they get out to the perimeter, they have to be able to get off blocks and stay on their feet. And once they get to that alley, if they get to the edge, those safeties have to come up and tackle well. Look for that secondary of Notre Dame today to be a big factor in how well they do on the defensive side of the ball.
Meanwhile, Air Force has lost 6 games in a row, and musical chairs at quarterback certainly has not helped. Their top quarterback, Cale Pearson, tore his ACL in the opener. Jaleel Awini came on, but he's no longer a cadet in good standing. He's out indefinitely. Carson Roberts took over, but he suffered a head injury last game, so Nate Romine finished up. Roberts returns today, but Romine can play as well.
Yeah, Carson Roberts averages 5 yards per carry. He's more of a running quarterback. quarterback, but Notre Dame has to be careful because Nate Romine is a good enough passer to be able to take advantage of the Irish over the top on some play action.
Troy Calhoun in his 7th season on the Falcons sideline. His streak of 6 straight bowl games is in serious peril. Meanwhile, it's season number 4 for Brian Kelly, and the Irish coach is with our Lauren Gardner.
Sorry about that, Andrew. We had some technical difficulties there. Coach Tommy Rees was cleared to practice on Tuesday. Based on what you've seen, how has he bounced back from last week's injury?
Well, he had a good week of practice. He was cleared by the medical team. So, you know, for us, those are decisions that are out of our hands. He had a good week, and we expect him to play well today.
This Air Force offense presents some unique challenges to defense as it faces. What does yours need to do here today?
Well, you know, obviously there's so many different things that you have to defend. At the end of the day, you got to get off the field on 3rd down. They do such a great job of making it, short down and distance. We've got to be able to do a good job of keeping the ball in front of us. We know that they're effective. We've got to be able to keep the points down and get off the field.
Thanks, Coach. And Andrew, another unique challenge that Notre Dame will face today is the altitude. Falcon State 6,000 feet above Notre Dame's home stadium in South Bend, and I spoke with the team doctor, Jen Malcolm, who told me the most important thing is for the guys to stay hydrated, and they also have some supplemental oxygen on the sidelines if needed.
All right, thank you very much, Lauren. And once again, we apologize for those technical difficulties as we take a look at our Allegro weather. It is gorgeous in Colorado Springs, 58 degrees, light wind, sunny skies, beautiful day for football. Notre Dame won the toss. They will receive. Air Force will kick off to start this game. And it's time for the opening kickoff, brought to you by Bud Light. Here we go. Bryston, Canada handles the kickoff duties for the Falcons, and back deep for Notre Dame is George Atkinson III. He is Notre Dame's career leader in kick return yards. Fans on their feet. Great atmosphere here in Colorado Springs, and we are set to go. Atkinson let this one go, and Notre Dame will start at its 25-yard line. Tommy Rees will start after suffering the neck strain a week ago. 15 touchdowns, 6 interceptions on the season for the senior. His completion percentage is down. That's one thing that Rees has been working on, just 53% on the year. In his career, he's over 60%. First and 10 for the Irish. Atkinson in the backfield. Rees will throw on first down. Looking deep on the first play of the game, and it's incomplete. He was looking for the freshman Corey Robinson. Broken up by Gavin McHenry. Take a look at this Notre Dame offense. Zach Martin, a 2-time captain, making his 47th straight start today. And TJ Jones has at least 1 catch in 34 straight games and a touchdown catch in 4 consecutive games. On second down, they give it to Atkinson, and he gets up close to the 30-yard line. Tackle made by Dexter Walker.
George Atkinson's one of those players that Coach Kelly is really waiting to come on. Him and Amir Carlisle have tremendous athleticism. Look for them to be able to get the ball out in space, but Notre Dame's play choice early on, go deep to be able to back that defense up. That's one of the things that defenses have been doing all year to hurt Notre Dame's run game, is crowding the box. When you take deep shots down the field, that gets that defense to back up. Here's a big 3rd and 5.
Air Force defensively is last in the country in defending 3rd downs. It's 3rd and 5 for the Irish. Empty backfield, Rees to throw. And the pass is caught for a first down across the 40 to the tight end, Troy Nicholas.
Been really impressed with Troy Nicholas and really developing and starting to come on this year as a weapon from that tight end position. Just running a stick route right there. Great separation from the linebacker. Air Force is going to have to do a good job of keeping 85 buttoned up today, because he's turning into a big weapon and a favorite target of Rees.
An 11-yard pickup on the play, and once again, Air Force struggling on third downs. It's been a theme defensively throughout the year. Atkinson running left up to the 45, spins, and is tackled just short of the 45-yard line by Gavin McHenry. For Air Force defensively, sophomore Alex Hansen leads all D linemen with 21 tackles for the Falcons. Jared Jones makes his first start today for the injured Christoph George. And Dexter Walker, who already made a tackle, 2 forced fumbles, and 1 sack on the season in the secondary for the Falcons.
Taking a look at Air Force, a lot of players down there in the box. Notre Dame got a lot of tight ends on the field. They will try and establish the line of scrimmage and run physically north and south, but that's a pretty good response there by Air Force. They're going to have to gain tackle today, Andrew, to have a chance to stop this running attack. Air Force is just undersized, but you see a great job of number 5, Dexter Walker. He's been a playmaker. They like to play him around the line of scrimmage, but he's going to have to be careful. You can't be too aggressive because Tommy Reese is good enough to be able to hit you over the top.
3rd down and 5. Three on the play clock for Reese. Looking left, and it's caught for another Notre Dame first down. TJ Jones now has a catch in 35 consecutive games, a 10-yard pickup.
Irish had a couple receivers open on that last play. TJ Jones, the leading receiver for this team, plays the position the way it's supposed to be played, does a good job of pushing upfield and stopping on a dime, coming back for the football. Very good accuracy early on in this ball game by Tommy Reese.
Brian Kelly told us this week he wants to feature Atkinson and Carlisle, wants to get those guys going. It was Atkinson at the start, and now Carlisle in the backfield. He takes the handoff, and not much doing there. Robert Green, playing in his first game of the season for Air Force this year because of a knee injury, makes the tackle.
Notre Dame trying to stress the edges there, running some outside zone, but penetration's the #1 thing that will kill a run game, and Air Force, to their credit, did a good job against the strong side of Notre Dame's offensive line, which is that left side featuring Zach Martin and Chris Walker.
Cam McDaniel now in the backfield after Carlisle lost a yard on that last play. Play action. Reese fires, and it's caught along the near sideline by TJ Jones. Second reception today for the senior, a gain of 12.
Air Force is going to have to do a better job of pressing and challenging these wide receivers. They're going to play some man coverage today, but you can't let TJ Jones run that wide open. There seemed to be some confusion and a breakdown in the coverage. And to Tommy Reese's credit, he's finding the open receiver, and there's several of them on each play so far in this series.
Carlisle trying to get to the edge, now cuts it back inside at the 30-yard line. He's pushed back after a 2-yard pickup. Nick Fitzgerald on the stop for the Falcons.
Take a look at this Air Force defense. They run some 3-4. They're basically a zone team, but today the coach is telling us that they're going to run some even front. They're going to have to try and do some things to take some chances to disrupt this Notre Dame offense, which they know if they're firing all cylinders can hurt them.
10th play of the drive for the Irish. And the pass is caught by Ben Koyak, the tight end. McHenry on the tackle. Just the second catch of the season for the junior out of Oil City, Pennsylvania.
Koyak doing a good job of finding the open space in that zone defense. When Tommy Reese has receivers in his face with those short to intermediate throws, his accuracy is pretty dang good.
3rd down and 1 for the Irish. Atkinson tripped up, and that's going to be mighty close. Ryan Watson met Atkinson right at the line of scrimmage.
This was a counter play, and Air Force's linebackers doing a good job of running downhill, resetting the line of scrimmage. And when you have run-throughs like that, you can be able to make some plays. Old number 4 there, Atkinson, didn't have a chance, and this is bringing up a 4th down. And hey, when you're on the road, you're having some success, I think you try and put it into your running back's hands, gets that offensive line
And a flag comes in. Referee today.
False start. Number 79 offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
That's on the true freshman Steve Elmer, who's replacing Christian Lombard at right guard. As we told you earlier, Lombard out for the year. And now, because of the penalty, Kyle Brinza comes out for the Irish.
Costly mistake that could end up costing Notre Dame 4 points. When you're on the road, it's a full packed house here. You have to be able to hold your water. Not uncommon for a true freshman to make a mistake. Let's see if the Irish can at least get something out of this.
46-yard attempt for the junior Brinza. 8 out of 11 on the year. And the kick is blocked. What a start defensively for the Falcons. Notre Dame put together an impressive drive, but it stalls. And Air Force does the job defensively to start this game against the Irish. Kyle Brinza has been running in his Notre Dame career. But Air Force getting a push along the line, and the Falcons will get their first possession offensively.
See you in the morning, my friend. Bright and early.
Halloween at Sonic, pretty great, right?
50-cent corn dogs all day long?
Oh, man, what a great deal.
It's the best. Trick or treat.
Hey, the lights aren't on. Nobody's home.
Hey, guess what I am?
Pirate.
Nope. Guess again.
Irritating.
Nope. Guess again.
You're a pumpkin.
A pumpkin.
I said that.
Well, what are you dressed as?
An adult with dignity.
Well, whatever it is, it's terrifying.
No tricks, just treats. Delicious Sonic corn dogs are just 50 cents all day on Halloween. This is how you Sonic.
As the official hotel of the NFL, we're always looking for new ways to be your competitive advantage. And we think we found it. Welcome to Home Field Advantage. We're Courtyard, the official hotel of the NFL.
College football on CBS Sports Network is brought to you by USAA, proudly serving the financial needs of current and former military members and their families. By Golden Corral. It's Golden Corral's ultimate wing and appetizer bar. It's buffalo wings, mini crab cake sliders, and more. And by the makers of 5-Hour Energy. Tackle the tired.
Back to Colorado Springs after Air Force blocked the Notre Dame kick. The Falcons get their first possession. Nate Romine, the freshman at quarterback, gets away from several tacklers and picks up 8 yards on the play. Romine no more for his passing compared to Carson Roberts, but great scrambling there from the freshman. And now Air Force wants to run a little tempo against the Irish.
2nd and 2.
First down for Sam Gagliano on the fly sweep.
Sam Gagliano.
Good start offensively for the Falcons. Air Force offensively at center. Michael Hussard Jr. started every game. He's really the leader of the offense, and fullback Broham Hart leads the team in rushing. The Texas native. Hart and Lacoste behind Romine here. On the option, and Colton Huntsman, the wide receiver, moves the ball into Notre Dame territory. Dan Fox on the stop for the Irish.
I like what Air Force is doing here. They came up with a little bit of a head fake, starting Nate Romine, trying to throw on the first play of the game, but that tempo is something that they can use to their advantage and capitalize on that great stop their defense have had when Notre Dame had the ball to start this game.
the option to John Lee. He's got good perimeter quickness, but a good job by the Irish defensively to contain Lee around the edge. As we take a look at the Notre Dame defense, Stephon Tuitt, 6'6", 312 pounds, 2 sacks last week against the Trojans. Watch for Jalen Smith, one of the most exciting freshmen in the country. And defensive coordinator Bob Diaco told us Kivari Russell has really become a much improved tackler. Remember, he entered Notre Dame as a running back. 1st and 10 for the Falcons at the Notre Dame 41-yard line. And we have movement and a whistle.
False start. Number 78 offense. 5-yard penalty. First.
It's on the backup lineman, Ross Lovett. Air Force will mix and match as much as possible, both offensive line and defensive line. They are so overmatched size-wise, trying to develop some depth. You'll see a lot of different guys up front, both sides of the ball for the Falcons.
Yeah, and let's keep in mind we're at 6,000 plus feet here, so this up-tempo offense will stress this Notre Dame defense and test their depth.
Play action. Romine's pass is incomplete. He was looking for Gagliano, and Ilar Hardy closed quickly for the Irish defensively.
And that's really one of the misnomers about this offense, that it's just a triple option offense. But this coaching staff, led by Clay Hendricks, the offensive coordinator, does a good job of mixing and matching, making teams to prepare for a lot. And right now, they're making sure that they have an answer for Nate Romine's arm.
2nd and 15. Romine's going to keep this himself across the 40 and up to the 38-yard line. Bennett Jackson came in for the tackle, but some nice tempo on this drive for the Falcons offensively.
And that's just a pin and pull scheme, pulling the backside offensive lineman again, trying to test the perimeter, getting to those alleys. Some good blocking at the point of attack. Notre Dame not having an answer for this offense quite yet.
3rd down and 8. Romine again, and he's going to be short of the 1st down. With 6 minutes to go in the 1st quarter, what do you do here, Aaron?
Well, considering the way that your defense played that first series, but you need something to be able to spark your offense. If you're having the success that you're having so far early on this game, I think you have to hit the gas pedal and find a way to be able to get 3 yards to convert this and keep moving the ball on the Irish.
Would be a 51-yard field goal. Will Conant's longest is 52, but they're going to go for it on 4th and 3. And now a whistle and a timeout called by Air Force.
Air Force, they're first to the half.
Falcons want to talk this one over. A big 4th and 3 coming. No score in the 1st quarter.
Here you go. Adaptive One brakes, guaranteed noise-free for life.
Noise-free?
Yeah, thanks to Napa know-how.
Hey, brakes. Dude, sorry about last night. You're still mad at me?
They don't make a sound.
Brakes. Come on, hug it out. Hug it out. Insist on Adaptive One brakes.
The DirecTV customers you're about to meet have allowed us to switch their service to Dish Network.
When we switched, we expected to have the same channels, basically the same package, same price, but what we found out was we were missing some of our favorites. The channels that we found out weren't in our package were actually available on Dish Network, but they were on the upgraded package, so we'd have to end up paying more for channels that we got when we had DirecTV. It's just not a fair comparison, right? So we might be paying less, but you're certainly getting less.
Get NBA League Pass and watch the excitement of the new season wherever you want. You'll get live NBA games on your TV, computer, tablet, and phone.
LeBron makes an incredible play.
Watch the incredible action anywhere. Check out a free trial of NBA League Pass October 29th to November 5th. For more information, call 1-800-GET-SPORTS or visit directv.com/NBA.
Hearts. They get all the love. What about me, the liver? When you overindulge, I clean you up. If that's not love, what is?
Love your liver with Liverite Liverade, the natural dietary supplement that aids and supports liver function. Impurities in your liver can make you feel sluggish. Liverite's unique formula cleanses your liver from impurities in your diet and environment, so you can have better energy, better quality of life.
Love your liver with Liverite.
Available at CVS, Walgreens, Rite Aid, and Walmart.
Welcome back to the Air Force Academy. USAA is a proud sponsor of Armed Forces football. 5:34 to go in the first quarter. And Air Force staring at a 4th down and 2. They called timeout to discuss it a little further. So far this year, Air Force is 9 out of 14 on 4th downs. And once again, they send the offense out following the timeout. So they'll go for it here in the first quarter.
Yeah, I just think it's too long of a field goal to be able to try. And again, this offense is designed about getting 4 yards. Air Force will run the football into the boundary in short yardage situations. Coverage at the bottom of the screen as well.
They pitch it to John Lee, trying to get around the outside, and he's got a first down. A 3-yard pickup on 4th down and 2, and the drive continues for the Falcons.
Yeah, 48, number Dan Fox on the right side of your screen's got to be able to stay on his feet. He's the guy that's got to be able to set the edge and contain. He does get downhill and be able to force the back out of bounds, but a great effort by John Lee to pick up the first down and move the chains.
Roman pitches it to Lacoste. He's got some running room across the 20 and down to the 10-yard line. Anthony Lacoste gets 22. First and goal, Air Force.
One of the things that you've got to be able to do if you're Notre Dame is have somebody that sets that edge. There's nobody there in contain. You need a safety or a corner to be out there, or Air Force will gash you all day long on the perimeter.
Again, the receiver Huntsman is in. Touchdown, Air Force. Second rushing touchdown in the career of Colton Huntsman. He takes it in from 10 yards out, and after blocking the Notre Dame field goal, Air Force marches down the field, and the Falcons take a 6-0 lead. Will Conant on for the extra point. Perfect on the year, 18 out of 18. And the kick is good. Air Force's only win this season was against FCS Colgate. They've come out strong today, converting a big 4th down. And then junior Colton Huntsman takes it in, 7-0 Air Force.
Hi, we need insurance on a new car, but my husband's driving record isn't the best. Can the General help us get the insurance we need?
No problem. The General has low rates, low monthly payments, a choice of payment date, and special discounts to save you money. And our customer satisfaction rating is 97%.
This is perfect. Thanks.
Get an anonymous free quote now. For a great low rate you can get online, go to the General and save some time.
Cleaning your house the old-fashioned way can be risky business, and struggling with expensive pressure washers and leaky sprayers is no day at the beach. Now, there's the EasyJet Power Washer, the easy-to-use system that instantly turns your garden hose into a powerful pressure washer, so you can clean windows up to 40 feet away, wash away dirt and debris from patio stones, and keep fences looking as good as new without repainting. The patented EasyJet Power Washer features a variable water pressure flow control and an adjustable spray nozzle that delivers 8 customized sprays to tackle dozens of cleaning jobs around your home. Use the powerful jet spray to deep clean patio furniture without scrubbing and remove stubborn grime from outdoor decks. The fan spray to quickly wash away leaves and mud from your sidewalks. Or the vertical spray on your boat and jet ski to remove salt water. You can even wash away road dust from your RV in a snap. Best of all, you can easily go from keeping doors and windows sparkling clean to quickly clearing leaves from your gutters and instantly watering your flowers with a gentle mist. But it doesn't stop there. Add soap to the custom dispenser to blast away greasy residue from your barbecue grill, remove grimy grass stains from your lawnmower, and give your car that showroom finish without using a bucket or a sponge. Say goodbye to big, bulky pressure washers that can cost you up to $400. Call or go online now to get your EasyJet Power Washer for only $19.99. But wait, as a special bonus, we'll also send you the incredible flexible hose free. Just turn on the water, and this amazing hose that grows automatically expands to up to 3 times its original length. It's super lightweight and never gets kinked, making outdoor cleaning tasks fun and easy. It's a $20 value free. Order right now and we'll give you a second EasyJet system free. Just pay separate processing and handling. That's 2 EasyJet power washers and 2 flexible hoses, an $80 value, all for only $19.99. This amazing offer is not available in stores. Order now.
To order EasyJet, call 1-800-653-8130. That's 1-800-653-8130, or visit us online at tryeasyjet.com. Don't delay, call now.
Welcome back to Colorado Springs. Air Force out to a 7-0 lead after the Colton Huntsman touchdown, Aaron.
Well, we talked about Air Force trying to trust the perimeter. Keep your eye on Broham hard. Huntsman's going to come over here on the motion right before the snap. They're going to out-leverage Notre Dame's defense. You have to stay on your feet. There's a great block by Broham hard on Matthias Farley right there, number 41. Air Force so far so good for their offense, attacking Notre Dame on the perimeter. I think the Irish have to be able to change up what they're doing with their safeties and have those guys come down. And if they do, look for Nate Romine to take some shots over the top.
Atkinson back deep again for the Irish. And once again, it will be a touchback. Well, today's great action cam shots are brought to you by Enterprise. Just a beautiful look from high above Falcon Stadium. Get down low, too. Such a great angle here for this Notre Dame Air Force game. And, you know, Brian Kelly told us earlier this week, Aaron, that Air Force, quote, scares the heck out of me. When you think about this Air Force team, they play Notre Dame today, and they play Army next week. These are their Super Bowl weeks, the next 2 weeks, and that's why they're so scary. A great start as T.J. Jones makes the catch in some space. Let's go back to New York for a studio update. All right, thank you very much, Adam. So many great games around the country today. Texas Tech off to that 7-0 start.
Tremendous quarterback play. Cliff Kingsbury, their head coach, doing magic at that position. Baker Mayfield, the true freshman, was a surprise to start the year. They've been doing a great job.
Hands to the face call against the Falcons on that last play. So Notre Dame now has 1st and 10 all the way up at their 46-yard line. Reese rolling left, throws on the run, too high for Tavares Daniels. That's something that Tommy Reese has been working on a lot in practice, throwing while he rolls to the left. Threw a touchdown rolling to the left against Oklahoma, but that's still a work in progress for Reese's game.
Tommy Reese is best as a quarterback when he's in the pocket and he doesn't get knocked off his spot. You're absolutely right. When he moves, he tends to throw high and is off target.
Atkinson trying to get around the edge, knocked out of bounds. Gavin McHenry again making the stop for the Falcons.
Air Force, that's great safety play coming up, trying to be able to set the edge. The Falcons are playing downhill, and their second-level defenders are doing what I think the Irish have to be able to do. Notre Dame's most success is being able to throw the football. Look for number 85, Troy Nicholas. He's been a mismatch so far early in this game.
Fans on their feet, 3rd and 9. Plenty of time for Reese, looking for Nicholas. Incomplete, but a flag on the play.
T.J. Jones is Stephon Batts, the quarterback, the senior out of Columbia, South Carolina. Got tangled up there, and I think it's going to be pass interference on 23.
Holding, number 23, defense on an eligible receiver. 10-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
Big penalty goes against the Falcons. That extends the drive for the Irish. Familiar sight for Notre Dame last week. USC just killed themselves with penalties. 11 penalties for 95 yards.
Yeah, that's where the real mismatch is Notre Dame's skill positions against a smaller, undersized defensive backfield.
Pitch to Atkinson across the 40 up to the 35-yard line. George Atkinson III with a 7-yard pickup. Ryan Watson made the stop.
You know, Andrew, early on in this ball game, both of these teams attacking the perimeter for very different reasons, but Notre Dame made some hay on that last one. These are pretty good athletic players here. Notre Dame has to be able to try and get them going. Teams have been loading the box on them, which has made it difficult for them to be able to run the football.
Reese off his back foot looking deep, and it's caught. Touchdown, Notre Dame. Corey Robinson. The first touchdown of his career. The son of NBA Hall of Famer David Robinson, and the Irish are on the board, a 35-yard strike.
Looked like his dad going up there to get a rebound. Air Force knew that they were going to have to play man coverage and be able to take some shots to get that extra safety down in the box. They knew that they would put some pressure on that back end, and old 88 Corey Robinson took advantage of it on a nicely thrown ball by Reese.
Great job by Tommy Reese to get rid of that one quickly. 16th touchdown pass of the season for Reese. Brinza's extra point is good. Corey Robinson is 6'4", 205, and he used that frame in a big way on this pass from Tommy Reese. With pressure coming, Reese got rid of it. Robinson goes up and gets it. Touchdown, Notre Dame.
I hate watching with Ramsey. All he does is yell. They can't hear you, Ramsey. But every time he's come over this year, we've won. And he always brings Bud Light. Little dog won't come out from under the couch. But we're winning. I love you, Ramsey.
Bud Light, for the fans who do whatever it takes.
3:41 to go, first quarter, and Notre Dame is even the score, 7-all against Air Force. 5-play drive capped off by the 35-yard touchdown pass from Tommy Reese to Corey Robinson, the son of former Naval Academy product David Robinson, the NBA Hall of Famer. You know the Admiral is cheering on that one. First collegiate touchdown for Corey out of San Antonio, Texas.
Yeah, just a great job by number 88, Corey Robinson, going up and high pointing that football. Coaches have a lot of high expectations for him, but you got to be patient sometimes with those younger players.
How about David Robinson's day watching CBS Sports Network? Navy beats Pitt. Now his son scores a touchdown. He's locked in. Devin Rushing back deep to receive the kick. Brinza will boot it away. Still a glorious day in Colorado Springs. Sun is shining. And this one will be a touchback. Air Force will start at the 25. And for a report on the Falcons, let's check in with Lauren Gardner.
Yeah, guys, after that last Falcons TD, Troy Calhoun stressed the importance of tempo to his offense. He knows that elevation is a factor here today, and he doesn't want the Irish to roll in guys in and out with their defense. And he told us earlier this season, I think we are in superb condition aerobically. They have to run a 1.5 miles in 11 minutes and 15 seconds at this altitude. They're in pretty good shape.
Oh, they're in great shape with all the requirements they have to do here at the academy. And as you can see, a huge mismatch on the line. Trying to get to the outside, and Lacoste is hit hard.
That's Kavari Russell coming off that outside edge at that cornerback position. The coaches specifically pointed out old number 6 here as being a very improved tackler. At that time, Notre Dame's adjustment was attacking from that outside edge and perimeter, just like we talked about at the top of the show.
Once again, Air Force races to the line. Romine. Option to Lacoste again across the 30. Lacoste back to the 45-yard line. Air Force has had some success getting on the edges in this first quarter. A 20-yard pickup.
Yeah, that time there's nobody from that second level to be there. Air Force just does a good job of circling. Number 8, Kendall Moore's there. Excuse me, Jalen Smith, number 9. Somebody's got to be able to come downhill, attack the quarterback, and be there for the pitch.
Romine just shy of midfield. Got to be impressed with the poise of Nate Romine. I mean, he was in high school last year. 4th quarterback on Air Force's roster to start this season because of injuries and suspension. Romine was forced into action against San Diego State 2 weeks ago. And they like what they saw so much, he gets the start against Notre Dame. Now a dangerous pitch there. But for a freshman against Notre Dame?
Yeah, he showed a lot of poise in that San Diego State game a couple weeks ago, and the coaches really felt like that he responded well to that pressure, and he took some big shots up over the top against that Rocky Long 3-3-5 defense, and certainly has earned his way to start this game. And this is a little different defense than he probably saw last year getting ready for the prom.
Hey, they went 12-1 his senior year. This is Lee in the flat and tackled by Kavari Russell. And that brings up 4th down right at midfield. With 2:20 to go in the first quarter.
I think with this field position, I think it's too short of a field to be able to go, and it looks like the coaches feel the same. Punt it, make Notre Dame go the distance. Don't give up any big plays. Remember, on that last drive, defensively, the Falcons really helped Notre Dame out with 2 big penalties. They've got to be able to stop shooting themselves in the foot and make Notre Dame earn it.
David Basco will boot it to T.J. Jones. Calls for a fair catch at the 8-yard line. And that's where the Irish will take over. A 41-yard punt. As we take a look at our aerial performance, Northrop Grumman, Steve Berline, the Notre Dame quarterback from 1983 to 1986, over 6,000 yards passing. He defeated Air Force 31-3 back in 1986, and of course, currently an analyst for CBS. And Steve is kind enough to join us for an Alumni Live Twitter chat. Just use the hashtag AskSteveB. He'll answer your questions throughout the day. We'll feature some of your tweets coming up right here on CBS Sports Network. Reese will throw on first down. Pass is caught at the 17 by T.J. Jones, trying to slip away from some tacklers. And let's go back to Adam Zucker in New York. Good stuff, Adam. 1:15 to go in the first quarter here. Notre Dame and Air Force tied at 7. That was a 6-yard pickup by T.J. Jones. So 2nd down and 4. They hand it to Jones, and he has a first down. Tackle made by Jordan Pierce.
One of the things Notre Dame will do is try and get their playmakers involved in this ball game, and good offenses take what the defenses are giving them. And so far, in man situations, when Air Force has been trying to be able to bring some pressure, Tommy Reese is being able to find those open receivers and doing a very good job so far reading these defenses.
So Troy Nicholas there, same high school as Steve Berline, Servite High School in California. As DeVaris Daniels makes the catch at the 30-yard line. Nicholas started as an outside linebacker when he came to Notre Dame, but he has developed into one of the top tight ends in the country. 6'6", 270. That's a big man, AT.
Yeah, he is, and played a little bit last year behind Tyler Eifert, and certainly Notre Dame runs a lot of 12 personnel. There are a lot of packages where they have 2 tight ends on the field, but he's really starting to come out into his own and being a deep threat as a receiver.
Already 5 touchdowns this season. On 2nd and 3, Atkinson. And is tackled at the 31-yard line. Dexter Walker came up to get him, and that's just short of a first down.
Dexter Walker's only a sophomore, but he plays so physically around the line of scrimmage. Look at him come up in open space, fight off the blocker, and make a huge tackle, setting up a 3rd and short. That's the type of plays that these players for Air Force need to be able to make.
And that will end the first quarter here in Colorado Springs. An entertaining start between Notre Dame and Air Force. The Irish and Falcons tied at 7. You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.
When a diet pill sells over 1 million bottles, it's a good start. Over 10 million bottles, it's time to take notice. But when it sells over 20 million bottles, it's time to try it. Now you can join the millions of people who have tried America's #1 selling diet supplement, Lipozene.
I decided to try it, and I lost 20 pounds with Lipozene.
I lost 35 pounds in 10 weeks using Lipozene.
I lost 7 inches off of my waist, and I lost 2 dress sizes, and I feel amazing.
Lipozene has now sold over 20 million bottles. That's because Lipozene really works. In fact, in a clinical study, people who took Lipozene lost weight, all while being asked not to change their lifestyle. That means they were asked not to change their diet or exercise. They were simply instructed to take Lipozene, and by just taking Lipozene, they lost weight. But here's where it gets really exciting. 78% of the weight they lost was pure body fat, not water, fat.
Lipozene helped me take out all that body fat, and I feel amazing.
I'm almost back down to my high school weight, so I'm really loving that.
Now you can join the millions of people who have lost weight with Lipozene by trying it risk-free for only $29.95. Lipozene is guaranteed to help you lose weight or your money back.
For real, the product works. It really does. It does.
But wait, call in the next 10 minutes and we'll double your order absolutely free. Plus, we'll even pay for your shipping. But that's still not all. To celebrate selling over 20 million bottles of Lipozene, the company will give you a free bottle of Metabo Up with your order. That's a $20 value free, but you must call right now because this exclusive free offer is not available in stores.
To order Lipozene, call 1-800-635-6138. That's 1-800-635-6138. Don't wait. Call now. That's 1-800-635-6138.
Started the second quarter at Falcon Stadium. Notre Dame and Air Force all tied at 7 right here on CBS Sports Network. The NCAA Football Challenge Campus Tour is making its way across the country with 32 stops. The tour has a video game area and football skills combine, allowing students the chance to qualify for the video game championship bracket and grand prize of $5,000, while everyone can test their football skills at the Enterprise Car Share Combine. Check out hashtag NCAA Football Tour on Twitter for more info. 3rd and 2 to start the second quarter. Reese will throw. Plenty of time. Throws, looking for Jones, makes the catch at the 48 and into Air Force territory. A first down for the Irish. They're now 3 out of 4 on the day.
Credit that offensive line with great pass protection, giving Tommy Reese the time that he needed, and also T.J. Jones the time that he needed, because this turned into the scramble drill. T.J. Jones was covered at first, and then what the scramble drill is if you run short, short goes deep, deep comes short, and the middle guys in intermediate routes mirror the quarterback. T.J. Jones and Tommy Reese really in sync early on in this game.
5th catch already today for T.J. Jones. Play action, Reese first down, looking for the home run ball. Wide open, touchdown, Will Fuller. Freshman Corey Robinson caught his first career collegiate touchdown, and now William Fuller has his first collegiate score.
William Fuller just running right past the cornerback. Again in man coverage. Air Force loading the box to take away that run off the play action. Wide open and a perfectly thrown ball. Tommy Reese has been on fire at the quarterback position early on in this ballgame.
Just burns Stephon Batts, the senior for Air Force, and the extra point from Brinza is good. Tommy Reese is 11 out of 13 to start the game for 166 yards and 2 touchdowns. Well, similar start for Notre Dame compared to back in 2006. Irish were ranked number 9th in the country at that time, and Brady Quinn threw for 4 touchdowns, 3 of them in the first quarter. Notre Dame went on to win that game 39-17. What a start for Tommy Rees. That was a 46-yard score.
This is a little different than we expected, Andrew. For them to be able to do that, look at his numbers today. Been outstanding, been accurate, been poised in the pocket. And again, once again, a defensive team, and in this case, Air Force, is loading the box, taking away the run. But good offenses take what the defenses give them, and that's certainly what the Irish and Tommy Rees have done so far today.
And let's face it, his critics have been all over him about his completion percentage. Last 3 games before the USC injury, he was at 42%. 11 out of 13 so far today, with 6 straight completions for Tommy Rees.
It's 85% of his balls have hit home today.
Brinza kicks it out of the end zone, and it will be a touchback. Air Force will start at the 25-yard line.
Tommy Rees today has been doing a magnificent job. He's a very smart football player. He's a coach's kid, so he's very well suited to be able to take what the defense is giving him. Air Force is playing some man coverage, but they just simply can't hold up against the more athletic Irish. And Tommy Rees has been on point, been making them pay.
Rees had a big game 2 years ago against Air Force. 261 passing yards and 4 touchdowns for the Irish. So now Nate Romine, the freshman, goes back to work.
Air Force already with over 100 yards rushing against the Notre Dame offense that hasn't given up much on the ground so far this year.
Romine flips it to Gagliano, and he gets a first down for Air Force. Jalen Smith drags him down.
Air Force's offense puts so much stress on a defense, and their perimeter guys, the skill positions out on the outside edge, make such an effort to be extra really good blockers.
Up the gut with Groham Hart, and another big pickup on the ground for Air Force. Falcons are 12th in the country, averaging 268 yards rushing per game.
When you're attacking the edges of the defense, it kind of gets you on your heels and takes away your aggression. That's a great change-up and play call to be able to attack the interior of that Notre Dame defense.
Lacoste slips away from one, and he gets forward for an Air Force first down. Carlo Calabrese brought him down.
That time, Jalen Smith on the outside edge, forcing the issue, fighting through his block to be able to make the back readjust, and that's what Notre Dame has to do, is get that pursuit. You're not going to make the tackle at the line of scrimmage, but all 11 guys have to run down the line of scrimmage and try and get the ball tackle down.
Lee is stuffed just short of midfield. Calabrese there again to make the stop, the senior out of Verona, New Jersey.
Second down,
Let's take a listen to that hit.
Carlo Calabrese the last couple weeks is a physical run-stopping defender. He comes downhill and is his best when he's attacking the line of scrimmage, as we saw in that last one.
Romine across midfield finds some room into Notre Dame territory. Cole Luke makes the stop after a 9-yard pickup.
You have to be so disciplined when you play against an offense as multiple as Air Force's, and right now the Irish really seeming off balance.
3rd and 2. Romine up the middle, and he's got the first down.
Notre Dame making some adjustments now. The Falcons doing what they do, really hitting the gas pedal. You see a lot of Irish players with hands on their hips right now. They're feeling this altitude. As a former player who's played in this stadium, I can tell you that it is real.
Hart across the 35. First time you dealt with it, Aaron, what was it like?
You get a lot more tired than you think you should doing everyday things. Even walking to meetings at the hotel that we stayed in, you were gassed. You do recover quickly, but you find that it takes a lot more effort to do everyday mundane things.
12 minutes to go in the first half. Romine picks up one on the play. Well, this is above the Notre Dame locker room. Some mind games here at Falcon Stadium for the visitors. Third down and 1 for Air Force. Gagliano forces his way for another Air Force first down. Took on Jalen Smith, and Gagliano picks up the first.
Been so impressed with Jalen Smith, the true freshman out of Fort Wayne, Indiana. Here you see him fighting across the face, beats his blocker, but is a little bit late to be able to get the ball carrier down. And Gagliano picks up the first down and moves the sticks.
Gagliano, the wide receiver, already with 3 carries today. Romine wants to throw, and it's dropped. Huntsman, who scored the Air Force touchdown, was wide open. Typical Air Force numbers so far in this game, Aaron. They have 147 yards rushing and 1 passing yard.
And Air Force has to be able to come up with those. Huntsman, perfectly thrown ball by Romine, has to be able to get that, because that puts that element of doubt in the defense's minds. If you can throw the ball and convert and move the chains, now it creates a lot more problems for the Irish.
On second down, Lacoste gets back to the line of scrimmage. That's Kendall Moore making the tackle for the Irish. Senior linebacker out of Raleigh, North Carolina.
Here again, off the outside edge, Kavari Russell starting to cheat up and setting the edge, forcing the backs to be able to cut back so that your pursuit and second-level defenders can fill up.
Notre Dame, they're first of the half.
The Irish call timeout with 10:50 to go in the first half.
As the host of a popular home improvement show, I know a lot about finding a great contractor for home repairs and improvement projects. Now there's HomeAdvisor.com, a free service that matches your project to top local service professionals.
We got everything from Home Advisor: electricians, plumbers, handymen. We've had nothing but fabulous every single time.
Home Advisor conducts criminal and financial background checks on their service professionals.
Knowing that they have had the background checks and that they're vetted absolutely gives me a sense of security.
You can read customer reviews of the pros, even use their cost guide to find out what hundreds of other repair and improvement projects cost in your area.
Home Advisor is a total solution to any type of work you would ever want to do around your house. It's fast, easy, and free.
It is completely 100% free. Home Advisor is the nation's #1 network of screened and rated home improvement professionals. Their patented ProFinder technology matches you with top pros, then lets you pick the one you think works best.
Fred and Son Plumbing was awesome. Was there within about 4 hours and did it right. Incredibly reasonably priced.
We found the perfect person through them, and we've continued to find perfect people through them. We didn't have to do any work other than say what we needed, and poof, you know, it was like they appeared.
Find out why over 25 million homeowners have used Home Advisor.
Home Advisor means that I'm the hero. Every time there's a problem with my house, I can solve that problem with one website.
They even have 24/7 support in case you have a home repair emergency.
Doesn't matter what day it is or time it is, they'll be there for you.
Home Advisor isn't just a list. With just a few clicks, you're matched to service pros for exactly the type of work that you need done. And Home Advisor is always free to use. Go to HomeAdvisor.com/start now to get started today.
Home Advisor.
Now, no matter where you live, you can enjoy high-speed internet with HughesNet Gen 4, America's #1 choice for satellite internet.
My old connection just wasn't cutting it. Now I finally have high-speed internet that works where I live.
Now getting homework done is easier than ever.
Now my internet is so much faster. So is my bike.
HughesNet Gen 4 is faster and better than ever. Enjoy more of what you love to do online. Call 1-800-426-3861.
Now I can stay close to my grandson, even from here.
Now I don't have to drive 100 miles to find shoes like these.
With HughesNet, you can live where you love and enjoy faster surfing, downloading, shopping, videos, music, and more. Don't waste another minute on a slow internet connection. Call today and get free standard installation for a limited time. Call 1-800-426-3861.
I use my new steel building as a workshop and a garage, and I love it.
And now you can get the steel building you've always wanted and save big. For a limited time, Future Steel, the world's leader in steel buildings, is selling off selected models at rock-bottom prices. Save $400, $900, $1,600, up to $2,000 on selected models during this limited time inventory sell-off. Simply call the number on your screen or visit us online for a free brochure and list of sell-off buildings. Call right now.
A lot of Notre Dame fans made the trip to Colorado Springs. Irish have a 14-7 lead. Only 49 days to go in the countdown to America's game, the Army-Navy game, presented by USAA on CBS Sports. Irish have a proud tradition of playing the service academies. And what a coincidence for the Irish that they get Air Force this week and they get Navy next week. Brian Kelly told us it's a good coincidence, and Bob Diaco, the defensive coordinator, took it a step further. It's awesome. They get 2 straight weeks against option football.
Yeah, that's a luxury not often had by a lot of teams, because this type of offense is so different and unique to what you normally see. It really helps from a preparation and install if you've had a week to be able to go through the concepts that you're using today that they're also going to use next Saturday.
3rd down and 10 for Air Force. The Falcons are 2 out of 4 on 3rd downs today. From the 30, Romine steps up, and he is brought down at the line of scrimmage.
That's Isaac Rochelle, whose brother plays on this team as well. Number 90. Keep an eye right here. To rush the passer, you have to be able to stay in your pass lanes. Rochelle gets beat, but he's able to cross face, and Romine is good enough and athletic enough to be able to pick up the 1st down. Tremendous play by the young freshman from Georgia.
And his brother Matt, the left tackle for Air Force, as Conan comes on for a 47-yard attempt. Kick is up, and the kick is good. So Air Force comes away with 3 points. Conan's 10th field goal of the season. It's 14-10.
I love pink. Pink's my favorite.
Our favorite.
We race for pink.
Introducing new Raspberry 5-Hour Energy. From now until the end of the year, a portion of each sale benefits Living Beyond Breast Cancer to empower women affected by breast cancer. Raspberry 5-Hour Energy is available for a limited time, so get yours now.
I ski with pink.
I can't get enough pink. Come on, everyone. Buy Raspberry 5-Hour Energy, benefiting Living Beyond Breast Cancer. Come on, let's support pink. Looks good, doesn't it?
Oh, hey, buddy. It's your great-granddad here. In case you haven't noticed, I'm kind of busy fighting for your freedom in the Second World War. But now, you're using that freedom to hurl insults at celebrities on Twitter? Listen, hashtag, you're not gonna fight like a man. You at least shave like a man. Barbasol. Stop LOLing everything.
Easy control with your index finger. Learning from you. LG G2.
So who's the guy wearing the helmet and a uniform?
He's the general.
Like in car insurance?
Yeah, he just helped me insure our 3 cars. I got discounts, a great low rate, affordable monthly payments, and the general even let me choose my own due date.
Well, that's something I need to do.
Well, go over and talk to him. The general's customer satisfaction rating is 97%.
Affordable car insurance from the general. Get an anonymous free quote and choose your due date.
For a great low rate you can get online, go to the general and save some time.
All right, thank you very much, Adam. 10:07 to go, 2nd quarter. Air Force kicks a field goal, and it's a 14-10 game.
That's offensive coordinator and offensive line coach Clay Hendricks talking to his unit there, led by Michael Hussar. the senior center from Mount Carmel, Indiana. Now, I tell you what, I am so impressed by this team of Air Force. 1-6. Not a lot to be able to play for. Certainly not going to be able to play for a bowl game if they lose this game today. But there is no quit in Troy Calhoun's team. That is a mark of a good, well-coached team that fights, and certainly to be expected from the cadets here at Air Force.
Atkinson back deep again for the Irish. Canada kicks it away, and it's a short kick. Atkinson comes all the way up to the 12-yard line. And Atkinson reverses field. Atkinson headed the other way. Atkinson tripped up at midfield. A 38-yard return for George Atkinson III. It was the kicker, Canada, who tripped him up.
And if Canada didn't make that tackle, Atkinson would have been out. You have to have some lane discipline here. You see a lot of Air Force players bunched up and crossing over. That problem is this: when you get out of your rush lane, it breaks down the integrity of your kickoff coverage. And a great tackle by Canada to shorten that run by Atkinson.
Great field position for the Irish, and this is a big defensive series for Air Force. Again, today's great action cam shots brought to you by Enterprise.
And it has been big plays, whether it was that last special team or the touchdown by Robinson and Fuller, that have really hurt this Air Force defense.
And Notre Dame has only rushed for 26 yards, but it's Tommy Rees's passing that has led the Irish to this 14-10 lead. McDaniel, nowhere to go. That's Robert Green on the stop for the Falcons.
And again, Air Force is in man coverage, loading the box, taking away the run lanes. Notre Dame electing to run on first down here. But again, with the success that they've been having, throwing the football, look for the Irish to take to the air here on 2nd and 8. Man cover, tough.
And Reese will throw up the play action. Looking for Daniels, caught at the 21-yard line. DeVaris Daniels out of Vernon Hills, Illinois, knocked out of bounds by Gavin McHenry. A 28-yard gain.
Yeah, DeVaris Daniels, one of those players that has all the talent in the world. And Coach Kelly told us this week he's just waiting for him to be able to turn it on, to unleash it, to take that next step. This is a type of game where you can have playmakers like Daniels step up. And once again, Notre Dame taking advantage of that loose man-to-man coverage by Air Force.
7 straight completions for Tommy Reese, closing in on 200 yards passing in the first half. He's going to throw again. Reese looking end zone, and it is caught. Touchdown, Ben Koyak. Second touchdown of the season for Koyak, and Reese is lighting up the Air Force D.
Yeah, that time he was matched up one-on-one coverage with Jared Jones, an outside linebacker. And that's just not fair. Notre Dame finding a matchup that they wanted and exploited it for another touchdown.
And they might want to take another look.
It was touchdown. Previous play is under further review.
Just to make sure Koyak was in, as we see it again here. Did he have possession going to the ground? 1-2, had the arm underneath. That looks good to me.
Yeah, Jones at the very end with his right hand gets the hand on the ball. That may have been the movement that they saw, but to me, it looks like Koyak does a heck of a job going up, catching that football and maintaining possession with not 1 but 2 feet in the ground for a touchdown.
Koyak has 3 catches on the season, and 2 of the 3 catches are for touchdowns. Not a bad percentage.
Not at all. He was lined up at that wing position. And once again, Tommy Reese, knowing where the mismatches are, knowing where the holes in the defensive are, and doing a very good job of distributing the football to his playmakers. And I really thought with the second half of that Arizona State game, and certainly that first half of that USC game before he got knocked out, Andrew, he really seemed to turn a corner and start playing some of his better football right at the right time.
Well, if it stands, Reese 13 out of 15 for 215 yards and 3 touchdowns. And that third touchdown very significant, as Reese has tied Ron Paulus for third all-time on the Notre Dame passing touchdown list.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
Third touchdown for Tommy Reese today. He's now third all-time with Ron Paulus, and Brinza comes on to try to make it a 21-10 lead. So much focus on Troy Nicholas, and it's the other tight end, Ben Koyak, finding the end zone.
Such an important part of Notre Dame's offense is having tight ends that can stretch the field vertically. They've certainly done that today.
Brinza's kick is good. And let's take another look at this as Tommy Reese continues to have his way.
Yeah, there's Koyak right there. He's just going to run up here and run a straight go route. He sees the one-on-one coverage with Jared Jones, number 8, right on top of him. And that's just a mismatch. This is just straight speed. One-on-one safety's late to be able to get over there and help. He was sitting on the hash trying to help out the safety, but Notre Dame and Tommy Reese being very efficient throwing the football this afternoon.
And again, the size advantage, a big part of this game today. Koyak has 3 inches on Jared Jones, who's making his first career start. And it's very clear, as we've talked about, Air Force defensively has said, hey, we're going to stop the run, make Tommy Reese beat us. Well, Tommy Reese is beating them right now, 13 out of 15.
Yeah, a lot of teams have made that mistake, and earlier on in the season, that may have been some merit to that. But again, in these last couple of games, Tommy Reese showing you that he has command of this offense and can distribute the football into the hands of his playmakers. And I think Air Force, from a defensive standpoint, may have to make some adjustments and play a little bit more zone. It's big plays that are killing them on the back end today.
8:49 to go in the first half. And Brinza kicks this one through the end zone. Let's go back to New York, our CBS Sports Network studio, with an update from Adam Zucker. Belldozer. Thank you very much, Adam. Oklahoma beat Notre Dame earlier this year. That was at Notre Dame Stadium, 35-21. That ended Notre Dame's 10-game home win streak. Roman wants to throw on first down. In some trouble. Chased out of bounds by Romeo Okwara. Nowhere to go because of that Notre Dame pressure. Loss of 2.
Prince Shimbo down here at the bottom of your screen, also doing a good job of fighting through the right tackle. Some good pressure up inside as well by Kona Schwenke, number 96. And there's 45, Romeo Okwara, a young player that they like to utilize a lot in pass rushing situations.
Roman runs right into Shembo, and that'll bring up third down and long for the Falcons.
Very athletic front, and quite a bit different front than Notre Dame showed against USC, where they needed to be beefy in their front 7. A lot more speed and athleticism, including playing Stephon Tuitt at the nose tackle for Lewis Nix, who's back at home chilling, getting those knees healthy.
Third down and 9 for the Falcons. Roman again keeps it nothing doing. Dan Fox meets Roman and brings him down, and that'll force the Falcons into a punting situation.
Dan Fox was a player that earlier on in the season lost his starting job, but really I thought showed up and played well against USC and comes up with a huge play there to be able to force the Falcons a 3-and-out. Now this is where Air Force needs to be careful. Your defense is giving up big plays. You can't afford to go 3-and-out because Notre Dame late in this game can wear you out. You can't let your opponent come into your stadium and dictate the tempo. And right now Notre Dame is doing that.
Short punt. TJ Jones comes all the way up to the 45-yard line. Just a 28-yard kick from Basca. Notre Dame's offense is rolling thanks to Tommy Reese. And the Irish have a 21-10 lead.
Welcome to Home Field Advantage. We're Courtyard, the official hotel of the NFL.
Some players retire from the game and get soft. I get supple.
Gold Bond Men's Lotion. Skin strengthening proteins plus 7 intensive moisturizers. Dry skin becomes healthy, good looking. Gold Bond Men's Lotion.
Man up with Gold Bond.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Everybody knows that.
Well, did you know that Old MacDonald was a really bad speller?
Your word is cow.
Cow. Cow. C-O-W-E-I-E-I-O.
Dag nabbit.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you, well, you know.
Looking forward to it. Thank you very much, Adam. 7:18 to go until halftime. Irish have the ball back with great field position. 1st and 10 from the 45-yard line. Notre Dame with 215 yards passing so far in this first half on the strength of Tommy Rees's right arm. Cam McDaniel with the carry on 1st down. Finds some room, and McDaniel gets into Air Force territory.
Been really impressed with Cam McDaniel this year. He's a physical north-south runner, and with the way teams have been crowding the box, his running style's really lent itself well to kind of step up and get more production than George Atkinson and Amir Carlisle. This time they just run an outside zone. Air Force over pursues. There's no pursuit on the backside. Cam McDaniel's able to get 9.5 yards on 1st down.
Career high 18 carries and a career high 92 yards last week for McDaniel in the win over USC. This is Amir Carlisle on 2nd and 1. And that's going to be good for a 1st down. 2-yard pickup on 2nd and 1.
Nick Fitzgerald that time. Take a look at this. I mean, you want to talk about being cool under pressure and poised. This was in the game last week against USC, and Cam McDaniel's helmet came off. But look at the way, he's got the ball covered up with defenders all over him, but he's just got that smooth look on his face now.
That picture went viral. It almost looks fake. Reese has his man. It's incomplete. He was looking for Nicholas, but the big tight end not able to bring it in. Coverage on the play from Joey Nickel.
Great job that time by Joey Nickel. He's their leading tackler, the junior out of Austin, Texas. Does a very good job in the box, and this time we talked about Air Force needing to tighten up their pass coverage, and that time they do a pretty good job, and that's the result. When you can play aggressively, you can make things happen, particularly against a physical tight end.
McDaniel trying to get to the 40 and lunges forward. That incompletion from Reese on the previous play stopped a run of 8 straight completions by Reese. He actually is tied for the Notre Dame record for most consecutive completions in a game. He had 14 in a row against Maryland 2 years ago.
Last week against USC, Notre Dame used some hurry up. They're making some changes here, but it almost seems like they're slowing down and wanting to run the football a little bit more. Tommy Reese is a mobile quarterback. He can also make plays with his legs. Air Force a little confused defensively.
Can Air Force get a stop on 3rd down? It's 3rd and 5. Notre Dame 3 out of 4 today. Blitz coming. Reese gets rid of it. Incomplete. Pressure was coming and Reese took a hit. Joey Nickel is the man that leveled the hit on Reese, and that brings up 4th down.
Yeah, Troy Calhoun said that they were going to have to be able to pressure Tommy Reese. They get to him in his legs, and again, when he's feeling pressure, he's a little off target, and just a little miscommunication between him and Ben Koyak that time.
And Notre Dame kind of in no man's land here at the 40-yard line. Will be a 57-yard field goal. They're going to go for it on 4th and 5. And now we have a whistle and a timeout.
Timeout, Notre Dame. Their 2nd of the half.
Second timeout for head coach Brian Kelly. Irish just 1 out of 6 on 4th downs this year.
Yeah, 4th down hasn't been a popular down for them, but so far today they've pretty much thrown the football at their will, running it a little bit more on this drive. This is an opportunity for Air Force's defense to be able to step up and make a tremendous play. They know that those short intermediate routes where Tommy Rees can throw the football in front of him have been effective. They've got to be able to take a chance and be aggressive and not be afraid to make a mistake, while at the same time preventing those big plays over the top.
Chuck Martin, the Notre Dame offensive coordinator, trying to draw up a play against this Air Force defense. Air Force has struggled mightily this season on D, giving up 37 points per game. What a huge stop this would be for the Falcons with 5:38 to go in the second quarter. Empty backfield. Rees throws to Nicholas, caught, first down Notre Dame across the 30. Christian Spears made the tackle after a 9-yard gain.
Once again, Air Force goes to man coverage, and we saw that Rees missed Koyak the play before, but look at the separation in the perfect ball location that time by Tommy Rees. He was off target that last pass to Ben Koyak, but this time he's deadly with his accuracy.
Just the second time this year Notre Dame has converted on fourth down. Now Rees's throw is high. Incomplete. And was looking for Chris Brown.
I mean, that ball was 5 or 6 yards high, and that's really kind of been the hot and cold nature of Tommy Rees. Again, there's an example of him on the move outside of the pocket, losing that accuracy. The play before that, deadly accurate with his feet set, being able to follow through and putting it on his big tight end. Chris Brown was open by about 12 yards on that last one.
McDaniel up the middle and is stopped short of the 25-yard line. Joey Nickel was there again for Air Force. USAA is a proud sponsor of Armed Forces football. That's a great look at Falcon Stadium. It is just a gorgeous late October afternoon. Inside 5 minutes to go in the first half. 3rd down and 6 for the Irish, and we have a whistle on the field.
Yeah, it looks like left guard 66 Chris Watt feeling it a little bit. You see him taking some big breaths there.
Watt is a grad student making his 34th consecutive start today. Left side of that Notre Dame offensive line is so tough with Zach Martin and Chris Watt.
That's really been the strength of this offensive line this year, and their offensive line coach, Harry Heastan, does a tremendous job with this unit. They haven't run the football as well as they've wanted, but they've done a tremendous job of keeping teams off of their quarterback. See him right here. Keep an eye on him. Good zone blocking. McDaniel hits backside, and so he kind of falls down, going out the right side of that screen there. Needs a little bit of help getting up.
Keep in mind, earlier this week, Notre Dame lost its right guard for the entire season, Christian Lombard, with back surgery, so he's out for the year. Now the left guard goes down.
And on the road is really where you can start to get your depth tested. You've already got a true freshman, Steve Elmer, at that right guard position.
Coach Kelly might call up here for you. You got any eligibility left?
Buddy, let me tell you what, I could get hurt in a pillow fight right now, Andrew.
So Watt has to come off the field. Another big 3rd down play here for the Air Force defense. 3rd and 6 for the Irish. 4:47 to go in the second quarter. 9th play of the drive. Rees held on for too long, and he's brought down. Just the 7th sack allowed this season by the Notre Dame offensive line. Ryan Watson applying the pressure. A loss of 8 on the play.
One play after Chris Watt goes down, and Air Force finds a way to be able to get after the quarterback. Great job that time by the Falcons of being able to get around the legs of the quarterback and get some pressure and get themselves off the field. That was a heck of a stop by the Falcons.
So now Brinza comes out for a 51-yard attempt. His career long is 53. He did it earlier this month in Dallas against Arizona State. Kick is on the way, and brings his kick is good. Plenty of leg in the elevation, and the Irish tack on 3 more. Notre Dame's lead 24-10.
I believe that successful meetings and ultimately successful collaborations are about people, first and foremost. In a global company like ours, when you can't have everybody in the same room with you, it's important to be able to see them, to be able to interact with them, along with the information that you're working on. Using GoToMeeting with HD Faces lets us easily have that meeting every day, no matter where any of us are. GoToMeeting is our answer. It's the easiest way for everybody to meet, no matter where we live or work. It's what allows us to be successful.
Visit GoToMeeting.com today and try it free.
Everyone faces barriers in life. Yet nothing's more powerful than overcoming them. At Rosetta Stone, we're breaking down one of the biggest barriers of all, the language barrier. Now learning a second language is like second nature, because we've done it again. Invented new technology that adapts to you. It's the fastest, most natural way to learn a language, guaranteed. And for a limited time, try it free. Then explore the world as a traveler, not a tourist. Paint a vision for a client without an interpreter. Learn where you came from and connect like never before. Funny how a company that develops cutting-edge technology isn't really about technology at all. Call or click now. Rosetta Stone. Let's break down the language barrier.
Let's compare technology on Dish and DirecTV. DirecTV has 7 Emmy Awards for technical achievement, and Dish 1. DirecTV offers a high-definition DVR with TiVo, and Dish doesn't. Only DirecTV combines TiVo's unique interface and integrated search with our exclusive interactive features. Number 1 in technology. Another reason 30 million people agree. Don't just watch TV, DirecTV.
And let's take a look at today's Lowe's game improvements at Notre Dame. Lou Holtz was one of the best preparers of teams. And his philosophy, this is what we heard each week before we played any game while I was on campus. You had to be able to control the line of scrimmage and out hit. Then we have to be fundamentally sound, and then we have to be deadly in the 7 areas, including turnovers, big plays, missed assignments. That's you, Aaron Taylor. Third downs, foolish penalties, a kicking game in the red zone. Finally, when we're on the road, men, we have to play with togetherness, and finally, we know that the ball's not going to bounce. Don't flinch.
Wow, I think you got the Lou Holtz impersonation down. Look at that picture of Aaron Taylor. Jacked, man. You are jacked.
Look at the intensity there, boy. That's what you had to do. You had to win in the trenches and the line of scrimmage, and I always give Lou Holtz credit for getting us ready to not only be good players, but be good men.
Lowe's never stop improving as we go down to Lauren Gardner.
Well, Andrew, a unique family reunion of sorts is taking place here today, as today marks the first time that brothers Matt and Isaac Rochelle are playing against each other ever. And I talked to their parents earlier this week who were just as excited, if not more excited than the boys themselves. And then when I asked their father, Steve, if there was any sort of sibling rivalry while growing up, he laughed and said absolutely not. In fact, despite the fact that the boys had separate bedrooms growing up, he could count on one hand the amount of times they actually slept in them. They were absolutely inseparable, Andrew, but he did follow it up by saying, make no mistake, when these guys go toe-to-toe here tonight, they're not going to hold anything back.
Thank you very much, Lauren. Not exactly Milan to Minsk, but it's been a long journey for Rochelle. And a special day for Matt and Isaac.
I love it, little Vandalay Industries, huh?
Seinfeld for you with 3.5 to go. Keep in mind, Air Force gets the ball to start the second half. If they can get some points here, they would get the ball to start the second, only down by 14, but they're faced with a third down now with 3:20 left.
And one of the misnomers about this style of offense is that it doesn't suit itself well for the 2-minute offense or where you have to score quickly. Remember, in this ball game, Air Force has been able to attack the edges and get big chunks of yardage and get themselves out of bounds.
3rd and 2, trying to avoid a second straight 3 and out. They do. Romine up the middle across the 40.
Romine finding some hay up inside of the middle of that offensive or defensive line. When you attack the perimeters, players get themselves out of position. A great job getting up in the hole by Broham Hart on the quarterback power, and Romine falls forward for the first.
Air Force has 2 timeouts remaining inside 3 minutes to play. 156 yards on the ground in this first half for the Falcons. DJ Johnson, the freshman, on the carry for Air Force.
That was actually Anthony Lacoste there, yep. And Stephon Tuitt, he's been very, very quiet today, and that's one of the things that this offense can do is nullify your players inside, which is why they're attacking the perimeter.
Broham Hart, the fullback, pushes it. But check that, that's DJ Johnson across midfield. Ball came loose at the end, but he was already down. Bennett Jackson on the stop for the Irish.
Now remember, Air Force is chipping away, attacking outside, back up inside. Romine has the ability to throw this ball over the top. Notre Dame has to play disciplined defense and be true with their eyes.
That was a first down carry. 1st and 10 from just across midfield. 2 minutes to go and 2 timeouts for the Falcons. Johnson across the 45. And close to another Air Force first down. He'll be just short. DJ Johnson only had 2 carries on the season coming into the day.
Air Force again pulling backside guards. They will run power and run power football at you, try and double team you play side and attack you up the gut.
Not much on that one for Johnson. And now Air Force has to keep a close eye on the clock.
This is where Notre Dame has to be careful because they do have 1 minute and 34 seconds left. They do get first downs which stop the clock. It's now winding. At some point, Air Force is going to have to take a shot, and Notre Dame needs to be ready.
Play action. Romine rolls, throws on the run. Pass is caught for a first down. Up across the 20 is Marcus Hendricks. A 19-yard gain. Carlo Calabrese made the stop.
Notre Dame subbing players in and out. Air Force looking to hit the gas pedal. They may clock this.
Romine fights to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Call a timeout.
And they do.
Ben Council, the first to make contact.
Timeout, Air Force, their second of the half, 30 seconds in lead. Please set the clock to 105. 105.
So they'll put 2 seconds back on the clock, 1:05 to go for the Falcons, and 1 timeout remaining. They are in field goal range.
But a field goal is not what they need. If you're Air Force, you got to hit the gas pedal, take some shots at the end zone, whether it's throwing the football or attack the edges like you're doing. Remember, they will run into the boundary on the outside, and Notre Dame has to be ready for that. But it's so imperative, I think, for the Falcons to be able to score a touchdown here because, as you pointed out earlier, Andrew, they get the ball back, and if they can get a touchdown here and get a drive together to start the 3rd quarter, this is going to be a tie ball game.
Today's Red Zone is being brought to you by Verizon. Air Force scoring touchdowns in the red zone close to 70% of the time.
75% is the benchmark, and Air Force is just underneath that.
Ball is loose. Lacoste can get a handle on it, and Notre Dame has it. Costly turnover for the Falcons in the red zone. Kavari Russell scooped it up with 1 minute to go in the first half.
The pitch was just a little bit behind Lacoste. Certainly hit him in his hands. He's got to be able to catch it. Just can't handle it. And in a critical moment, Air Force makes a critical mistake. That's the last thing that this Falcon team needed to happen there. And we've seen several times this year where Air Force has opportunities to make plays and they shoot themselves in the foot.
And they've been pretty clean in the red zone this year. A rare mistake for the Falcons down by the goal line. Now, Notre Dame, 1 minute to go, 1 timeout. Reese is in the shotgun. They'll hand off to Cam McDaniel. McDaniel fights through a few tacklers, and he's still going up to the 24-yard line.
Very conservative play call, I think, by the Irish, but with them being up 14 points, maybe they just want to go in, settle themselves down at halftime and regroup. And a little poor tackling and a little poor effort that time. You could tell that that last fumble took a lot of air and wind out of the sails of this Falcon team.
You agree with the strategy to play it slow here and just run into the locker room?
After a sudden change, I'm a big believer of taking shots over the top, particularly with as many big plays as Air Force has given up.
So Notre Dame will go into the locker room with one timeout, and that will do it for the first half. Air Force will receive the second half kickoff, trailing by 14 points. Tommy Reese went 14 out of 19 in that first half for 224 yards and 3 touchdowns. Air Force was able to move the ball on the ground, 183 yards rushing, but a costly turnover there at the end of the first half. Lauren Gardner is with Brian Kelly.
Thank you, Andrew. Coach, any update on the health of Chris Watt and what will his absence mean to this team?
Yeah, you know, obviously he's a veteran for us. I'll find out at halftime, get an update on a couple of guys that we've got out.
You told us earlier this week that you wanted to have a more balanced attack with your offense. What is it going to take to establish this running game?
Well, we really don't have to. There's everybody on the line of scrimmage. We're going to throw the football. We're pleased to be up, you know, with 24 points on the board. You know, Tommy's doing a nice job for us. I think we're running enough to get the play action pass so we can get the ball over the top.
Thanks, Coach. Well, guys, you know what they say. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
You're right. Absolutely, Laura. Notre Dame with just 45 yards rushing in that first half, but Tommy Reese had his way, and the Irish up 24-10. After the break, we'll send you back to our CBS Sports Network studio in New York for the Verizon Halftime Report. You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.
Here you go. Adaptive One brakes, guaranteed noise-free for life.
Noise-free?
Yeah, thanks to Napa know-how.
Hey, brakes, dude. Sorry about last night. You're still mad at me?
They don't make a sound.
Brakes. Come on, hug it out. Hug it out. Insist on Adaptive One brakes.
To clear acne, they say you gotta follow the rules. Doctors, pills, routines, yeah, right. Break the rules and clear your skin with one simple step. From the makers of Proactive comes X-Out.
X-Out is just one step. It just works.
X-Out is the first ever wash-in treatment. Just wash and rinse. Advanced medicine stays behind to fight acne all day. And you feel it working with a rush of icy cool.
X-Out is cool because it gets the job done real fast.
You can't get it in stores, so go to xout.com now for your free gift and free shipping.
There's no such thing as no man's land to me. A man just needs a place where he can be wild and free. 10 calories.
Dr. Pepper 10. Manliest low-calorie soda in the history of mankind. Bold flavor.
Tired of dealing with breakouts? There's a better, faster, easier solution. Now you can get everything you need all in one simple step. From the makers of Proactive comes X-Out.
Everyone was like, what are you using? Your skin looks amazing.
You just wash and rinse. X-Out does the rest. Because even after you rinse, advanced medicine stays behind to fight acne all day. And it feels icy cool on your skin.
It's quick, it's simple, and it gets the job done real fast.
Go to xout.com for more proof, your free gift, and free shipping. X-Out Pimples, fast and simple.
Start of the third quarter at Falcon Stadium. The Irish lead the Falcons 24-10, and the Falcon trying to fire up the Cadets. So we get set to start the second half. Back with Aaron Taylor, I'm Andrew Catalan. You heard Brian Kelly say, we're going to keep throwing the football. Why not? The Irish had 224 yards passing in that first half. At one point, Tommy Reese had 8 straight completions and 3 touchdowns off some big plays, Aaron.
Yeah, there's no question. Air Force is going to have to be able to make some adjustments on their back end. And we heard right before halftime Coach Kelly talking about running the football well enough to set up play action. Here, it's Air Force's safety that's cheating, looking at Cam McDaniel, the running back, and it allows William Fuller to be able to slip past him down the seam and catch a 46-yard touchdown. I think Air Force is going to have to be able to make some adjustments and maybe run some more zone back there. But this thing has been lopsided for Notre Dame. As we look at the 5-hour energy first half stats, through the air, Notre Dame has been effective. Those turnovers, Air Force has to find a way to be able to get the football back, because, Andrew, that turnover they had in the red zone was very, very costly.
No doubt about it. Air Force will get the ball to start the second half. This season, when Notre Dame is leading at the half, they're 4-0. And under Brian Kelly, when the Irish had the lead at the half, they're 27-3. Irish trying to improve to 6-2. Air Force looking to stop a 6-game losing streak. Brinza will kick it away for the Irish. Half the stadium still in the sun, but shadows across the entire field. As Brinza's kick will be down for a touchback.
Kick down in the end zone by Anthony.
Landry, at the top of the show, we talked about the importance of Notre Dame attacking the edges and the safety play and secondary level supporters being able to attack the football and tackle well on the perimeter. What Air Force did an effective job is nullifying that, getting the ball out to the perimeter and average 5 yards per carry. Notre Dame's going to have to be able to make some adjustments and I think be a little bit more aggressive with their safeties.
Romine will start the second half under center for the Falcons. Still no Carson Roberts. As they pitch this one to John Lee, and he gets across the 30. Knocked out by Farley. No Elijah Shoemate in that first half for the Irish. The sophomore has been suffering from an injured hamstring. Did not play against USC. Practiced some this week, but we haven't seen him out there today.
No, we haven't. And he's certainly a player that could help this Irish defense, but Air Force doing an excellent job, even on that first play of the game, of getting Irish defenders down on the ground. It's so hard as a defensive player to play off those blocks, but you have to be able to find a way to stay on your feet.
Romine pitches to Garrett Brown, and snuffing that one out is Russell.
Kavari Russell has had a tremendous game so far, playing aggressive. We talked about Notre Dame needing to be more aggressive. Here he is. He's peeking in at the ball. He's the force support from that outside edge. And when he sees the ball, here he comes, playing there, setting the edge, and just coming up and being physical. Air Force that time was trying to get John Lee out there to block him and was a little bit late. John
Lee was caught watching, and now it's 3rd down and 5. Air Force today 3 out of 7 on 3rd downs. Romine steps up, gets away from one, and Romine picks up the first down with his legs. Calabrese brought him down after a 9-yard gain.
Bob Diaco dialing up pressure this time, bringing Kavari, or Bennett Jackson rather, off the left side of the screen, and that's where Romine can hurt you as well with his legs. Great pickup.
He is 62 yards rushing today. Here's Lacoste. He gets across the 45 and stumbles his way up to midfield. Austin Collinsworth on the stop for the Irish, but 10 more yards on the ground. As we look at the first half numbers, Tommy Reese 14 out of 19. DJ Jones had 5 catches in that first half.
What's really impressive is how well Tommy Reese has been able to throw the football, but Nate Romine starting the game, I think, was a surprise to a lot of people, but he's really come in and played well.
Romine throws here, his 4th completion of the day.
Romine completes
that one goes
to Colton Huntsman.
To Huntsman.
He's brought down by Russell.
And he'll bring up 2nd down.
That time, Notre Dame was ready for that. They had their safeties. They didn't bring them up. They dropped out. They were expecting pass, but that's a nice switch up and change up for the Falcons to pick up 7 on 1st down.
Short one that time. If you're Air Force, do you make an adjustment here in the second half offensively? Do you throw the football more? Do you keep it on the ground?
I think you keep it on the ground. You keep doing what you're doing. You look at what they did in the first half. I mean, they had over 200 yards. That's what you want to be able to do. They've got to be able to protect the football, though, and that's something that unfortunately cost them down in the red zone late in the second.
3rd down and 1 for the Falcons. They're right at the Irish 40-yard line.
They're fine offensively, Andrew. It's their defense that needs to come up and make some plays.
Hart stuffed, gets away from one, and may have fallen forward for first. Great job by Broham Hart on the second effort to get an Air Force first down.
Broham Hart, 6 foot, 220 pounds, and runs behind his pads. Great penetration that time by the front of Notre Dame. Kona Schwenke in particular, playing behind the line of scrimmage. Also, Carlo Calabrese up in there. The 32 dropped his pads and got the first.
Romine pitches it. Gagliano upended. Low wood flipped Gagliano over.
If you want to stop the triple option, you have to play aggressive out on the edge. Your corners have to be able to be willing to tackle. This time the senior out of Apopka, Florida, comes up and applies a pop for the loss. That felt good. So see that smile?
It's a Cam McDaniel smile.
See me blow that dude up?
2nd down and 11. Romine steps up, loses the football. Ball is out. The Irish have it. Jalen Smith. And now they say that the ball was down. They blew the whistle. Smith keeps on running. That was a very late whistle.
I didn't think he was down. I mean, that ball certainly came out and was fumbled. But you see all the Air Force players stop after the ball's picked up by Jalen Smith. Maybe it was a little quick by these officials on the whistle.
That's what I think too. Referee Greg Burks huddling up with the officials. Clearly a fumble.
Watch when Jalen Smith picks this football up.
Ruling on the field is incomplete pass. 3rd down.
Whoa.
Previous play is under further review.
Yeah, they're going to want to take another look at that because that was no pass.
Setting up to pass, but it's Ben Council off that backside. Clearly, to me, strips that football. Jalen Smith picks this ball up here, but take a look at the Air Force players. They stop as if they've heard a whistle blown. You have to wonder if the officials prematurely blew the whistle, thinking the ball was down.
Well, clearly Romine was going to run the football there. There was no act of passing. Council knocked it loose, and Jalen Smith's knee never touched the ground.
So the ruling on the field's an incomplete pass, and to me that's compelling evidence enough to overturn that. But you see the Air Force lineman there, nobody running after him, and if that is a fumble, it would be a touchdown unless the whistle was blown.
Let's listen for the whistle. You did hear the whistle before Smith scooped it up.
Because if it were an incomplete pass, then they would have blown the whistle, and that was the original call on the field. And that may undo the touchdown, but it won't undo the turnover. Great effort and hustle by Ben Council, and a heads-up play by the super stud freshman, number 9, Jalen Smith.
Greg Burke set to make a call.
After further review, the ball was fumbled, not passed, immediately recovered by Notre Dame. It'll be first down Notre Dame on the 38.
Well, that's the right call. Another turnover, the second of the day for Air Force. You just said Air Force has to hold on to the football. They can. For more on that, let's go down to Lauren Gardner.
Well, Andrew, this is exactly what Troy Calhoun told me at the half that they did not want to do offensively. He told me they needed to get off to a quick start and ideally put some points on the board within the first 2 possessions. And on the other side of the ball, I asked him if they're going to continue to play man coverage after giving up over 220 yards in the air, and he said they're going to mix up their looks a little bit, especially in the secondary.
All right, thank you very much, Lauren. Second turnover in Notre Dame territory for the Falcons. So the Irish get the ball 1st and 10 at the 38. Reese pitches to McDaniel, and he gets to the 40. And Nickel makes the tackle for Air Force.
I mean, just what a costly turnover for a 1-6 Air Force team that has Notre Dame's on the ropes at times in that first half. And here they're driving the football at will. Great way, just the way you want to start. But they turn it over again. It's a strip on a fumble on a pass, something that Romine can do. But turnovers, when Troy Calhoun has had his team firing all cylinders, that's a category that they've dominated, and that just hasn't been the case this year, and certainly hadn't been the case today.
McDaniel on 2nd and 8 finds a seam up the middle into Falcons territory to Notre Dame 1st down.
And once again, after a sudden change, you see the wind get taken out of the sails of this Air Force team. They've been flying around and hustling. Notre Dame's offensive line has literally reset the line of scrimmage by 5 yards there. These cadets have to be able to shake it off, play play-to-play, and get this football back to their offense.
First time today, Notre Dame has had a run of more than 10 yards. The 11-yard rush from McDaniel is long, and McDaniel gets it again up close to the 40-yard line before Spears brought him down. 8 yards for McDaniel on that carry.
And this is just lead football, and now Notre Dame starting to use that size advantage it has on the offensive line and reset the chains. They are being physical up front, and now I would expect Notre Dame to start to get that ground game going. But at some point, you got to watch the safeties, and if they're hearing word from up top, here they are in man coverage again. If they're cheating, take a shot over the top and make them pay.
McDaniel, another Notre Dame 1st down. 9-yard gain for McDaniel. And don't forget, Golden Corral is a proud supporter of Armed Forces football. Well, this is a theme, Aaron, that unfortunately happens a lot for Air Force. They wear down in the second half. They're so overmatched in terms of size. They don't have a lot of depth. Their last 3 games, they've had second half leads, and they've lost all 3 games.
Yeah, but it hasn't been fatigue or lack of depth that caused those turnovers, and those are the 2 biggest plays that they've had. You're absolutely right, but they're a little sluggish right now. They have to shake this off and get this ball back.
Freshman Folston to the 30-yard line. Joey Nickel tripped him up.
I wonder when we were going to see Tarian Folston out of Florida, a true freshman that coaches think have a lot of potential. But the one thing you have to be concerned about with true freshmen is pass protection and protecting the football. And I think with Notre Dame switching its play calling up significantly here, going to the ground, they certainly don't want to get Air Force back in this game by giving it back over, throwing an interception.
Reese will throw on 2nd down. Pump fakes, looking deep, end zone for Jones, caught. Touchdown, Notre Dame. What a catch by T.J. Jones, the 4th touchdown of the day for Tommy Reese.
Double moves versus man coverage are very hard to be able to deal with. T.J. Jones sells it perfectly. Tommy Reese looks off the safety, pump fakes, does a good job of holding that safety, and there's no...
Cadets are quiet as Air Force is looking at a 3rd down and 1. 5 out of 9 today on 3rd downs. They swing it to Huntsman, trying to get to the outside. Jalen Smith. That is why they think so highly of the freshman. What a stop for Smith.
Jalen Smith plays that dog position, and what he does well is he plays off the cut block by Anthony Lacoste and stays on his feet. That's exactly what it is you have to do right there. Play off the blocker, get downhill, and make the tackle. That is a true freshman, ladies and gentlemen, and he's having a heck of a season and going to be a heck of a player before he leaves South Bend.
Bob Diaco told us this week that Jalen Smith will be one of the best players in the country. Still makes some freshman mistakes, but his potential is out of sight. As TJ Jones calls for a fair catch at the 36-yard line. Jalen Smith, play of the game on D for the Irish.
Introducing the Rack Roll Down, the lowest prices ever at Rent-A-Center. We've rolled down prices on your favorite brands throughout the store. Everyone's pre-approved for our new lower prices, so hurry in and save like never before at Rent-A-Center.
How can you make your favorite team your home team? With NHL Center Ice, you get a season ticket to your favorite team no matter where you live. Plus, you'll get up to 40 other great matchups every week from around the league.
Absolutely off the charts.
So bring home all the action of your team. NHL Center Ice. The game lives where you do. Don't miss another moment of action. Call 1-800-GET-SPORTS for the lowest price in 5 years.
Amidst a world of brilliant turquoise, there's an exotic new place where green holes meet blue holes, where every carefree pleasure is absolutely free, where time is forgotten and love is remembered. Sandals Emerald Bay, the Bahamas' ultimate all-inclusive golf and spa resort, close to home, even closer to heaven. Call 1-800-SANDALS.
Hearts. They get all the love. What about me, the liver? When you overindulge, I clean you up. If that's not love, what is?
Love your liver with Liverite Liverade, the natural dietary supplement that aids and supports liver function. Impurities in your liver can make you feel sluggish. Liverite's unique formula cleanses your liver from impurities in your diet and environment, so you can have better energy, better quality of life.
Love your liver with Liverite.
Available at CVS, Walgreens, Rite Aid, and Walmart.
6:43 to go in the third quarter, and what a play by Jalen Smith, Aaron.
Yeah, he did a tremendous job of being able to play off the lead block by Anthony Lacoste. Here he is right here in that dog position. And notice, Notre Dame is in a 4-down front, a 43 front, and then they walk Smith up. And right there, he plays off the cut block. And as a defender, when you can stay on your feet, you're going to be able to stretch those plays out for the second 3 and out for the Irish of the day.
And an underrated part of Smith's development is the work that Danny Spond has done with him. Spond is the only player from Colorado on the Notre Dame roster. He was forced to retire before the season because of severe migraines as Reese throws complete to Jones on first down. But Spond has not missed a practice. He's traveled to every single game, and he works so closely with Jalen Smith, teaching him the plays, a calming force for a freshman on the sideline. Danny Spond's work with Jalen Smith has been a huge part of Smith's freshman campaign.
And when you have somebody that is experienced, there's nothing that can replace experience, because coaches can only deal with so many things. They have to talk to all the players on the defense. When you've got a senior veteran player that can help you and tell you the nuances of the position, it's a tremendous help, and another reason why number 9's having a heck of a year.
Another freshman, Folston, on first down. He picks up 7 on the play. And after that ball came loose, it's still Notre Dame football. Let's go back to New York and update with Adam Zucker. Good game. Thank you very much, Adam. It's second down here for the Irish at the Air Force 42-yard line, and Tommy Reese trying to beat the play clock with a timeout. Did they get it in? Refs are discussing whether or not they're going to grant Notre Dame that timeout.
Please reset the play clock to 25 seconds.
Not a timeout. They're just resetting the play clock. So 5:33 to go. Irish again with a second down and 3.
Pistol formation, 12 personnel, 1 tailback, 2 tight ends. Notre Dame loves to run out of this.
Brown, the motion man for the Irish. They give it to Folston. Nice moves, a spin, and Folston with a Notre Dame first down. That's why they're so high on the freshman Tarian Folston out of Cocoa, Florida.
Very good blocking backside and great vision on this inside zone. Great cut right there to be able to get those extra yards. Very good open field runner. And you see it's plays like that that have coaches very excited about this young man's potential.
Video game moves right there. Very impressive stuff.
Reminds me when I was playing flag football. You know what I'm saying?
I find that hard to believe that we were that nimble. Folston again putting on the moves and still on his feet across the 20 and down to the 17-yard line. A 16-yard gain for Folston before Spears finally caught up to him.
One of the things that these coaches have been frustrated about is their athletic backs not getting north and south and dancing around too much. But here you have Tarian Folston not only running north and south, but also showing an ability to make people miss in space. And that's the perfect combination for Brian Kelly's offense moving forward.
Knocking on the door again, back in the red zone. Notre Dame's season high in points this year is 37 to win over Arizona State. Folston could not get around the corner that time. Pushed out by Nickel and Jared Jones.
Good penetration that time.
Today's Red Zone is being brought to you by Verizon.
We saw Tommy Reese right before that play was snapped. They liked the leverage that they had on the outside heading into that boundary. So they tried to run an outside zone, but good penetration and push that time by the defensive front on that side by the Falcons.
Notre Dame 93rd in the country in scoring touchdowns in the red zone. That's certainly an area they're looking to improve upon as McDaniel is back in the game. Well, Brian Kelly told Lauren Gardner at the half, well, why should we run? We'll just keep throwing the ball. Well, they did throw the ball on that touchdown, but this drive has seen a lot of running between Folston and McDaniel.
No question, and you have to be able to get some confidence if you're Notre Dame up front. They've been struggling running the football, only 2.6 yards per carry in that first half, and the reason why is because Air Force was loading the box, and that's really been the game plan for a lot of teams, trying to take away the run, but Tommy Reese is very quickly showing you will get burned if you do that.
Third down and 8, empty backfield. Reese looking end zone again, behind the back to Brown. Touchdown! Back shoulder toss. Reese to Chris Brown. 5th of the day for Reese. That's a new career high. And once again, Stephon Batts got beat on defense.
Yeah, they're taking advantage of number 23, the senior out of Columbia, South Carolina, and he's really been one of their most dependable players. But that just shows you the athleticism and the advantage that Notre Dame has outside on the perimeter. But as I've said, Andrew, there is no defense for a perfectly thrown ball, and you got to give number 11 credit for Notre Dame because Reese put that thing on the money.
Reese's 5 touchdowns have gone to 5 different receivers. The 38 points are now a new season high for the Irish. It is all smiles on the Notre Dame sideline as Chris Brown has his first touchdown of the season. Notre Dame all over Air Force in the second half. It's 38-10.
See you in the morning, my friend. Bright and early.
Flavor of my spicy chicken sandwich is so bold, I feel like I have to come up with new words to describe it.
Right, yeah. My Island Fire spicy chicken is spice-dictive. Addictively spicy.
Cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
You're thrilled.
That's a word, though.
You're thrill and duh.
Yeah, maybe you should stick to spice-dictive.
What does that mean?
They're simply spice-dictive. The original and Island Fire spicy chicken sandwiches, and save room for creamy cheesecake bites. This is how you Sonic.
Tommy Rees, 17 out of 22 for 284 yards and 5 touchdowns. Those 5 TDs, a new career high. 284 yards and 5 touchdowns. Those 5 TDs, a new career high. The record for Notre Dame quarterbacks for most touchdown passes in a game, Brady Quinn threw 6 against BYU back in 2005. What a day for Tommy Rees, who earlier this week, we didn't even know if he was going to play after he had the strained neck against USC. Well, Rees has played, and we haven't seen Andrew Hendricks at all for the Irish, who have jumped out to a 38-10 lead.
Yeah, right there we're looking at Stephon Batts, number 23, giving up 3 touchdowns so far today. And that time you can't blame man coverage. They were in cover 2, but they just found another way to get the football to their playmakers out on the edge.
Well, Lauren Gardner is somewhere in the stands in Falcon Stadium. Lauren?
Well, Andrew, it's time for today's spot, and in this spot in 2002, in front of a record-setting crowd of 56,409, number 7 ranked Notre Dame defeated number 18 ranked Air Force 21-14. And that victory marked Notre Dame's 7th consecutive win on the season that became known as a return to victory for the Irish. Now, we want to hear from you at home. Tweet some of your favorite memories from that 0-2 game to hashtag the spot, and we might air them later on in tonight's game. Let's see, Aaron. I was in high school for that game. How old are you again?
Why are you trying to loud talk me, Lauren?
Little known fact about Lauren, she has her pilot's license.
Yeah. Bright cookie, that one.
She could fit right in.
Does make you feel kind of old, though, but great job by Bennett Jackson that time. Fight through the defender, and there's unfortunately a down Falcon on the near side of the field.
That's Sam Gagliano, the junior out of Texas. Caught a 71-yard touchdown pass in Air Force's last game against San Diego State. That was the longest Air Force touchdown pass in 4 years. See him on the right.
He was trying to cut block Bennett Jackson, who did a good job of staying on his feet. You have to wonder if he didn't hit his head on his knee. We saw a lot of those injuries so far this season, including last night.
Romine steps up, and Romine goes down. Caught from behind by Prince Shembo.
Prince Shembo's an extremely athletic football player with a great motor. They brought Carlo Calabrese on the blitz as well. Knowing that Air Force is in a position where they have to run, this really plays to the strength of that Notre Dame front 7, which is getting after the quarterback, particularly with the Irish being in a 4-down look with a lot of athleticism on the field.
3rd down and 8 for the Falcons. Romine's in the shotgun. Looks left, throws left too high. Was gunning for Garrett Brown, but he overthrew his intended target. And that's the 2nd straight 3-and-out for Air Force, their 3rd overall.
Yeah, this Notre Dame defense is really stiffened up, and the Irish are dictating what it is that Air Force can do. Now, Troy Calhoun knows he's got to be able to come up with some magic to maybe get back in this ball game. This isn't the ideal position for it, but at some point, does Air Force try and run a trick play to get the 1st down?
It's Amir Carlisle back deep for the Irish, and he lost the football. Carlisle recovered. It's usually T.J. Jones back there. Carlisle was getting a chance and nearly coughed it up.
Ball security in any situation is of utmost importance, but you have to be able to do it when you're on the road. And that ball just goes right through his hand, and there was some flyers for Air Force coming down on him. You have to wonder if that spooked him.
Here's a look at today's Phillips 66 Mountain West Athletes of the Week. We go to Fresno State for Derek Carr and Devontae Adams having incredible seasons. Big game for the Bulldogs tonight at San Diego State. A big game in the Mountain West as Fresno State remains undefeated. And now Andrew Hendricks is checked into the game for the Irish. Pitches it to Folston, and Walker not fooled. As we go back to New York, Adam Zucker with another update in our studio.
Second and 13.
Oh, those Ducks. Thank you very much, Adam. You're looking at Andrew Hendricks, who's now come into the game. He had to play last week against USC when Tommy Rees went down with the neck injury. He struggled to move the ball for the Irish offensively as they go back to Folston on the ground here. Hendricks was 0 for 4 last week and only picked up 5 yards rushing against the Trojans. And after the game, Brian Kelly was very critical of his backup quarterback. He said, we expect more of him. He has to play better, and Hendricks will get an opportunity here in the second half against the Falcons.
Yeah, and you have to imagine with the type of practice player that he was, he just maybe got nervous on that big stage. I mean, they had 23 net yards and 23 plays in that second half. This would be a great confidence booster for him to take this football down the field and get a touchdown, but it's not going to be easy with a big third down here.
Play clock is at 0.
Timeout. Notre Dame, their first of the half. 30 seconds in length.
Notre Dame got the timeout before the play clock expired. That's their first timeout of the second half.
See Coach Kelly not happy there, but somebody's got to be happy with is the play of Tommy Rees. Just the location of the football, his command of this offense, his decision making, his accuracy when he's inside the pocket. He threw a couple bad balls when he was outside of it, but for the most part, he's done an amazing job of stretching the field vertically with touchdowns and throws that averaged over 30 yards. I mean, he's thrown deep ball after deep ball after deep ball right on the money all day long, doing what a good quarterback's supposed to do, which is taking what the defense gives you.
Assuming Notre Dame goes on to win this game, Rees will improve to 20-6 in games that he has started. The 20 wins would tie Joe Theismann and John Lujak, tied for 9th. Steve Berline next in line with 21. Remember, you can tweet to Mr. Berline, hashtag #AskSteveB. Hendricks throws, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Amir Carlisle. Hendricks is now 1 for 11 throwing on the season. First 3 and out for the Irish. And here is Steve Berline. Like Tommy Rees, he is not Everett Golson and should not try to be. If he protects the ball, they should be fine. The hashtag is #AskSteveB. You agree with that tweet, Aaron?
Yeah, no question. I'm a fan of Tommy Rees. Tommy Rees is the type of player that I would love to have played for. Yes, he is limited to a certain extent physically, but the dude cares. He plays hard. He does the absolute best with what it is he has, and I really think we're starting to watch him mature as a passer in this second half of the year.
Garrett Brown gets it back to the 42-yard line. That's where Air Force will take over 1st and 10 with 25 seconds to go in the third quarter. Nate Romine and the Falcons offense back on the field. Today's first down line is being brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union.
See, making some adjustments here at the line of scrimmage. Air Force in a situation where they're down by 28 points has slowed this offense down. They've got to be able to keep it mixed up, but their bread and butter is attacking the perimeter.
And he didn't get the playoff.
Timeout. Timeout, Air Force.
They're going to give
their first of the half. 30 seconds in length.
The Falcons the timeout.
Troy Calhoun, I mean, he's earning his money now. I think a lot of people have taken maybe some shots at him. It's going to be the first year that maybe they don't make a bowl game, assuming that they lose today. But I got to tell you, he does one of the best jobs in the country of coaching these cadets who really look at football as an escape from their normal everyday lives. His job's not easy. These guys are taking 19 credit hours, and I'm certainly not making any excuses for this team, and he wouldn't want me to be able to do that. But cadets here at Air Force are forced and required to do things that everyday college football players aren't able to do. And the reason why the injuries are such a big factor is because they simply don't have the depth. So when you're on your 4th quarterback, it can create a lot of problems. And he's trying to do the best job he can with what he's got to work with.
And we were in his office yesterday, and his quote explains everything. Our job is to produce officers, not football players. Romine keeps it himself, and Jalen Smith and Shembo right there for the Irish. Well, today's great action cam shots are brought to you by Enterprise. Great look from above Falcon Stadium. Final play of the third quarter, if they get it off. They don't. That is the end of the third quarter from Colorado Springs. Notre Dame's lead is 38-10. You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.
Both Maxwell and Ted have hail damage to their cars. Ted is trying to get a...
We go to the fourth quarter in Colorado Springs, and Notre Dame has a commanding 38-10 lead on Air Force. Well, it's a big night in PBR bull riding. Silvano Alves has regained the lead in the world standings, but can he hold off J.B. Mooney for a third straight title? The PBR World Finals continue tonight, 9 Eastern, only on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. They are separated by just 20 points. It is very close between Alves and Mooney. You'll see it tonight on CBS Sports Network.
Those dudes are crazy.
I don't disagree. Romine play action. Shembo all over him. Romine gets away and gets up to the 45-yard line. Shembo is back there in no time.
Yeah, this is just play action passes. And for an offensive lineman, that's the hardest block to do because you have to be able to maintain those blocks so long. Shembo with tremendous eye discipline on that last play to be able to chase the quarterback out and force Romy into a third and long.
Third down and 7. Romine to the air to Brown, caught at the 50. That's short of a first down. Garrett Brown, the sophomore out of Marietta, Georgia. That'll bring up 4th and short. You would expect the Falcons to go for it.
Yeah, no question. And looky who it was. Number 9, Jalen Smith. We've seen him make some plays in the run, but very good in tight coverage. But the Irish here need to be able to get themselves off the field. Look again for Air Force to attack the perimeter.
4th down and 2. Romine nowhere to go, and he stopped short. Devin Butler, the freshman, was not fooled on that play, and Air Force turns it over on downs.
Great job that time by the defense, not only to set the edge and force Romine back upfield, but the pursuit. Guys getting off the ground. Carlo Calabrese getting there late, flowing to the football. These are the things that Notre Dame struggled to do earlier. And when they do it, they got it done, and a great job of the Irish getting themselves off on 4th down.
Tough go for Nate Romine. The 4th different quarterback used by Air Force this season. So the Irish take over right at midfield, leading 38-10.
Watch zone read.
It's Hendricks again at quarterback. He's going deep for Fuller, caught inside the 10. Andrew Hendricks, just his 2nd completion of the season, a 46-yard gain.
This time Justin Deku got caught peeking inside. He was looking at the receiver running up the hash. Number 13's got to do a better job of coming over and helping out. Just too late responding over there, and that's a great confidence booster for number 12, Andrew Hendricks.
He had a total of 9 yards passing on the season, 46 on that play. Now Hendricks trying to finish off the drive, and he does. Touchdown, Irish. First rushing touchdown of the season for the senior Andrew Hendricks out of Cincinnati, Ohio. And the Irish have 44 points on the board.
One of the things that makes Hendricks so effective is ability to be able to make plays with his legs. And Notre Dame having their way on the ground here in the second half against an Air Force defense that's been depleted.
Brenza comes on for the extra point. And it's good. Well, Brian Kelly really challenged Andrew Hendricks after the USC game and throughout the week at practice in South Bend. Well, Hendricks has responded. The 46-yard pass to Fuller inside the 5. And then Hendricks finishes it off with the 4-yard touchdown run.
Millions of people grow up in a family of immigrants. But not everyone stops at nothing to reach their dream. Even fewer have the patience, passion, and perseverance to achieve success. A dream is for those who sleep. I live mine. I'm Pitbull, and I'm one of a kind. Darling.
Tony's mom makes a wicked spicy meat sauce.
Tell me about it.
That's why we've got new Rolaids Liquid.
When your worst heartburn symptoms flare up, Rolaids' 2 proven ingredients bring rapid relief.
Seconds?
What do you think?
New Rolaids Liquid.
That's how you spell relief.
Yeah, you've been riding Missouri, haven't you?
And for good reason. They've been both good and lucky, particularly at the line of scrimmage. But if they beat South Carolina today, that will be Florida, Georgia, South Carolina in back-to-back weeks. And each one of those teams had losing their starting quarterback. Of course, Connor Shaw's down, so Dylan Thompson's starting today. Sometimes, Andrew, it's better to be lucky than good.
Your picks on Inside College Football, you're heating up. You're picking up steam down the stretch of the season.
That's what good players do. We get better as the season goes on, and that's really, I think, been the same exact story that the Irish have been doing so far through 6 games.
Lacoste is going to bring this one out of the end zone across the 20 and drag down at the 28-yard line. So a new quarterback now for Air Force. They're going to go to the sophomore Carson Roberts. 3 touchdown passes on the season, 2 interceptions. He's also rushed for 2 scores. He's a better runner than Nate Romine, but Romine is the better passer.
Yeah, and I would expect Carson Roberts to be able to run the football. Came in averaging 5 yards per carry. Only a sophomore. Coach is telling us he could definitely use another spring, playing quite a bit earlier here than Air Force is used to having a quarterback.
Start on the ground of the freshman DJ Johnson. Troy Calhoun is high on this freshman. He says he has a little fight in him, sometimes a little out of control, but in a good way.
Well, it's easier to be able to dial it back than have to kick a guy in his butt and get him to go forward, but certainly very typical of a young running back.
Huntsman is cracked by Kendall Moore. Kendall Moore, the senior out of Raleigh, mostly played special teams in his career. Listen to this.
Oh, he felt that too. That's 250 right there, coming down, scraping down the line of scrimmage, playing downhill now.
Notre Dame defense, you go back to last week, they totally shut down USC, especially in the second half. And they've held Air Force to just 10 points today. On 3rd and 7, we have a whistle and a flag comes in and a false start.
False start. The offensive line did not get set. 5-yard penalty for depth.
And that's to be expected. Cadence is one of those things that you expect to see some challenges in when you have a new quarterback. The big uglies up front, we get used to a certain cadence and a certain rhythm of a quarterback. So to have a penalty like that, certainly no excuse for it, but certainly not atypical either.
So you tack on 5 yards. It's now 3rd down and 12 for the Falcons. Roberts, quarterback draw. Roberts is tackled short of the 1st down. Kendall Moore again on the stop for the Irish.
I think without question you have to go for it here. Notre Dame that time was in a 2-deep safety. Looked very advantageous to be able to run in that particular quarterback draw, but oh no, it's like the Falcons are going to maybe kick this away. Andrew, this would be a good spot and a good time in this game to maybe run that fake we think is coming.
Well, the tight end Garrett Griffin has run the ball on a fake punt this year for the Falcons. No fake here. Basca punts it away, and after Carlisle fumbled, DJ Jones is back there for the Irish. He makes the fair catch at the 23-yard line. .11:25 to go in the game. Irish trying to get to 6-2 on the season. Today's great action cam shots brought to you by Enterprise. Great look from all over the field at Falcon Stadium.
See that big offensive line running out for Notre Dame. Again, coached by Harry Heastand, former NFL coach, Joe Moore disciple, who is my coach. Really done an excellent job with this unit so far this year, particularly in pass protection.
It appears Tommy Rees's day is done as Hendricks is back in at quarterback, hands the ball off to Folston. He pushes his way forward, close to the 30-yard line. Some good hard running in this half from Tarian Folston, just a freshman.
And I think it's telling that at this point in the game that we're seeing Tarian Folston and we're seeing him produce. Now, granted, this is against Air Force, which struggled against the run coming into this game, over 220 yards allowed and over 5 yards per carry. But certainly getting some good quality reps against a feisty defense bodes well for the future for number 25.
Hendricks miscommunication with Chris Brown, who has a touchdown today.
Well, we mentioned Harry Heastand, and when it's time to run, it's time to run. Notre Dame running up the gut early on in the third quarter and into the fourth, taking advantage of some big holes and some great blocking out on the outside edge. Being able to come in, and Folston's ability to be able to juke inside the hole and move laterally and make people miss is certainly going to be an asset that's going to serve him well in the next 4 years.
73 yards rushing in the second half for the Irish. 3rd and 5. Hendricks will keep it himself up the middle, and a Notre Dame first down.
Even the officials getting mixing it up in there.
Gavin McHenry on the tackle. Pickup of 11 for Hendricks.
This is a point in the ball game where if you're an offensive lineman, you're licking your chops. You know you want to run the football. You know you want to eat up some of that time. You know the defense knows it's a run, and you want to be able to pound the football.
Today's first down line is being brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union. Irish move the sticks again. 22 first downs on the day for Notre Dame. Hendricks going back to the air, and it's nearly intercepted. Dangerous pass for Andrew Hendricks. Stephon Batts on the coverage for Air Force.
Very good play by Stephon Batts. He broke on that football. It was thrown a little bit late. Hendricks didn't get rid of it as quickly as he can. He stares down the receiver, doesn't have quite the release that Tommy Rees does. If there's anything that Tommy Rees can do, it's get rid of the football quickly. Extremely quick release. Hendricks that time staring down his guy and allowed 23 Batts to make a play on him.
Folston up the middle. Jordan Pierce makes the tackle. Let's go back to New York. Adam Zucker. All right, Adam, thank you very much. Ducks have just looked so tough this season. Trying to get to 8-0 on the year. Meanwhile, Notre Dame looking at 3rd down. 3rd and 7 for the Irish. Bad snap. Hendricks just falls on it. Smart play there by the senior. And that'll bring out the Notre Dame punting unit.
Notre Dame's got a lot of its backup offensive linemen in the football game at the moment. That's number 77, Matt Hegarty, the backup center. You have a backup center, a backup quarterback, you're going to have mistakes. A lot of the second teamers in there getting some experience. Force the Irish punt.
Just the second punt today for Kyle Brinza. Garrett Brown back deep to receive it for Air Force at the 23, and he's down at the 24. 8:53 to go in the 4th quarter. The Irish on top 45-10.
Sometimes you need a car when you don't have a car. And now with Enterprise Car Share, you can share one of our cars 24/7.
One low hourly rate covers everything, including gas and damage protection.
Enterprise Car Share is great for getting out of the city, getting off campus,
Even moving a fish tank.
A fish tank?
It happens.
Giving you the freedom to go where you want, when you want. That's the Enterprise way.
What Duluth Trading Wild Boar Mocks feel like. What Duluth Trading Wild Boar Mocks grip like. Duluth Wild Boar Mocks with no slip grip. Comfy like a fuzzy bunny. Grippy like a big bad boar. For men and women. Only at DuluthTrading.com.
What's the matter, George?
I forgot to renew my car insurance.
Yeah, about a year ago.
Well, now I can't find a decent rate.
Sounds like George has the auto insurance blues.
Here, get a quote from the general. Their down payment and monthly payments are low, and they got special discounts to save money.
Get an anonymous free quote now!
For a great low rate you can get online, go to the General and save some time!
Let's compare technology on Dish and DirecTV. DirecTV has 7 Emmy Awards for technical achievement, and Dish 1. DirecTV offers a high-definition DVR with TiVo, and Dish doesn't. Only DirecTV combines TiVo's unique interface and integrated search with our exclusive interactive features. #1 in technology. Another reason 30 million people agree. Don't just watch TV, DirecTV.
8:53 to go in Colorado Springs. Notre Dame on top of Air Force 45-10 as we take a look at our Geico difference makers, no doubt about it. Tommy Reese, what a day. A career high 5 touchdowns.
Poised. Location of the football was tremendous, and what a way to bounce back after getting knocked out of that USC game last week. And on the defensive side of the ball, been really impressed today with number 9, 8 tackles, a TFL, fumble recovery with an early whistle, probably prevented a touchdown. But I also want to throw some love out to Kamari Russell, number 6, the cornerback. I think he's done a pretty good job coming off the edge tackling today as well.
Roberts at quarterback, 1st and 10 for Air Force as we check in with Lauren Gardner.
Well, guys, we've talked so much about the musical chairs that Air Force has played so far this season with their quarterback situation, and obviously not by choice. Sophomore Carson Roberts has come in today, and let's not forget about Cale Pearson, who was their initial choice this season. He's really been a fantastic mentor to both the freshman and the sophomore on the sidelines throughout today, but you can definitely feel the drop in demeanor and just the complete deflation of this Air Force sideline, guys.
Yeah, it's been such a tough year at quarterback for the Falcons. Pearson, who you mentioned, Lauren, tore his ACL in the 2nd quarter of the season opening game. Jaleel Owini looked great. In fact, Brian Kelly actually mentioned Owini in his press conference this week, saying that there was so much more variety to the Air Force offense with Owini under center, but he's no longer a cadet in good standing, so Owini is out indefinitely as Roberts completes to Huntsman for a 1st down. Roberts came in, and then Romine has played, but Air Force is one of 3 schools in the country to start 3 different quarterbacks this year. Only Nevada and Central Michigan have also done it.
Yeah, Notre Dame thought it had problems when it lost Everett Golson. Not easy to go to Costco and open up another can of quarterbacks, but that's certainly what Air Force has been forced to do.
Roberts' late pitch, but that will be good for a 1st down to Devin Rushing.
Like Nate Romine's days probably finished here, trying to be encouraging of his teammates. 6 for 10, 37 yards, ran the ball a little bit, but again, that turnover in the red zone is kind of what started the fall for Air Force, and just the miscues really have hurt this team.
Roberts swings it out to Rushing, and Kendall Moore makes the tackle for Notre Dame. Under Troy Calhoun, Air Force has gone to 6 consecutive bowl games. But with a loss today, that streak will be over, as Air Force will not be able to finish at 500 or better. Calhoun in his 7th season on the Air Force sideline. Of course, former Air Force quarterback, class of 1989.
Been covering this Falcon team for quite a while, Andrew, and from the very first meeting I ever sat down with Troy Calhoun, he said, for us to be good, we got to be strong in our junior and senior classes because of what's required of our true freshmen and sophomores. They don't redshirt here, so there's a lot on these young guys' plates, and there's just a lot more green here on my game board, which I use to denote freshmen, than I've ever seen for an Air Force team.
Only 17 seniors on the Air Force roster, and if you look at their two deep on defense, there's more freshmen than seniors. 3 freshmen, just 2 seniors on the two deep defensively for Air Force.
And the reason they've gone to so many bowl games in a row is because of their defensive play. They have dominated in turnover margin in those years, and just simply struggling with the lack of experience on that side of the football.
Roberts holds on to that one. Justin Utupu on the tackle for the Irish.
Yeah, a lot of the backups in, getting some quality play. And the times that I would be in games like this where maybe you were up on a team, it was fun for us to kind of watch some of the backups and be able to get some live play. And this is good learning experience and some good football for this team. And I think very important for Air Force to hang in there as they're trying to bring some pressure off the edge here for Notre Dame, as Air Force continues to try and run it up the gut.
Paco Solano on the carry for the Falcons. That'll bring up 4th down. 5:40 to go in the 4th quarter.
You're the Falcons. You have nothing to lose. You have to be able to convert this. Again, attacking the edges. Maybe you go after the boundary here. This is where you really need good corner and safety play.
1 for 2 on 4th downs. They flip this one to Huntsman. And Colton Huntsman tackled by Joe Schmidt. I think that's going to be just short.
Notre Dame trying to get out. Great pursuit that time by Schmidt, coming off that outside edge. And Lowood again from that corner position, setting the edge, forcing the cutback so that his pursuit can get the job done. This is going to be close.
And it's Notre Dame football. Air Force comes up just short. Terrific job defensively by the Irish, led by the former walk-on Joe Schmidt. A big tackle on 4th down.
We'll never know if somehow, in some way, we can affect the outcome of a game. But when the clock's winding down and everything's on the line, we all believe.
Halloween at Sonic, pretty great, right?
50-cent corn dogs all day long?
Oh, what a great deal.
It's the best. Trick or treat.
Hey, the lights aren't on. Nobody's home.
Hey, guess what I am?
Pirate.
Nope. Guess again.
Irritating.
Nope. Guess again.
You're a pumpkin.
A pumpkin?
I said that.
Well, what are you dressed as?
An adult with dignity.
Well, whatever it is, it's terrifying.
No tricks, just treats. Delicious Sonic corn dogs are just 50 cents all day on Halloween. This is how you Sonic.
Dandruff flakes meet Selsun Science. Sayonara. Selsun Blue gets to the root of dandruff, washing flakes out and putting moisturizers in. Selsun Blue. And for severe dandruff, get Selsun Blue Deep Cleansing Microbead Scrub.
Embarrassed by a prostate exam? Imagine how your doctor feels. As a urologist, I have performed 9,421.5 prostate exams. So why do I do it? Because I get paid. And on this side of the glove, I know prostate exams can save lives. So if you are a man over 50, talk to your doctor to see if a prostate exam is right for you. If we can do it, so can you. ZBS cares.
Get more 24 hours a day. The networks of CBS Sports.
Good atmosphere for most of the day in Colorado Springs. 5:19 to go, 4th quarter. Irish on top of the Falcons, 45-10. This game originally was supposed to be played in 2015, but when the Irish are going to start playing an ACC schedule, the athletic directors got together as Folston carries on 1st down and said, hey, Notre Dame said, can you move it up to this year just so we can get our feet wet in the ACC? So that's what they did, playing the game this year. There are no future games scheduled between Notre Dame and Air Force. However, the ADs are supposed to talk today, and you would expect after a couple years of playing some ACC teams that this rivalry will be renewed.
I would hope so. I mean, it's certainly one that I enjoyed, and The one thing you knew when you played an academy team, particularly Air Force, is that they were going to play for 60 minutes. They weren't the biggest, they weren't the strongest, but they certainly played with the most heart of any of the teams that we would see in a regular season. And it's certainly a great opportunity for both teams to be able to play in these sorts of games. Some nice running right there now.
Well, Tarian Folston has got the bulk of the load in the second half, and if there is a negative for Notre Dame tonight on a mostly positive night, Brian Kelly told us earlier this week he really wanted to get Atkinson and Carlisle going. He wanted to feature those two guys today. Well, Atkinson with 6 carries for 18 yards, and Carlisle with 3 carries for 3 yards. They're still stuck in the mud a little bit, those two.
Yeah, and somewhat in their defense, Air Force was doing a good job of crowding the box and forcing Notre Dame to throw, and that's where they were susceptible. Notre Dame took advantage of that, but just like we saw in that last play, Tarian Folston was his own blocker, and as a running back, sometimes you have to be able to do that. I mean, Atkinson and Carlisle, those dudes have all the athleticism and explosiveness that you could ever ask for at that position. But as a running back, you have to be able to get north-south. You have to run with power. You have to be able to get behind your pads and be your own blocker at times. And Tarian Folston, only 5'10", but already 207 pounds. As he gets bigger, his ability to be able to do that will increase. Really been impressed with him in the open field once he gets to the second level.
Folston had 11 carries the entire season. He has 11 carries today for 47 yards. Notre Dame calls timeout with 1 on the play clock.
Notre Dame, their second of the half.
And 3:04 to go
30
in
seconds
the game.
timeout.
Irish will win their 3rd straight game. They'll go to 6-2. And here's what Notre Dame has the rest of the way. Another option team next week in Navy, then at Pitt, and then they finish BYU and Stanford. BYU looked great last night against Boise State, and Stanford at 6-1 so far to this point in the season. So a couple of winnable games coming up, and then a tough way to finish BYU Stanford. But if they win out, they could be in a BCS Bowl. Do you think they'll win out, Aaron?
Well, it's certainly going to look good until those last 2 weeks. BYU just seems to get better and better each week. Taysom Hill, his ability to be able to throw the football has been marvelous so far this year and getting better. They fly around on the defense, Kyle Van Noy. But Stanford, if they beat that Stanford team, regardless of their record, and finish the year 10-2 with their losses being against Oklahoma and Michigan, that's a strong and compelling argument to be an at-large team, certainly for somebody. For a team that traveled 30,000 to Ireland, I'll tell you that.
50-yard punt, 2:53 to go.
Star NFL to download NFL Mobile from Verizon. And by Northrop Grumman, the value of performance.
So much respect for the cadets and what they do at the Air Force Academy. You're just imagining yourself trying to do that and failing. Is that what you're saying?
And how big those cables would have to be.
2:40 to go in this one.
Taking a look at Stephon Tuitt there, number 7, was asked to play nose tackle, a little out of position so far this afternoon. But first play of the game, man, he had a great pass rush and forced some pressure on Romine early on in this game. But that's what this sort of offense can do. It can nullify great players like number 7 there.
Just saw that graphic. No turnovers for the Irish tonight as Solano finds some space. Notre Dame will improve to 13-0 under Brian Kelly when not committing a turnover.
I think turnovers are the single most important statistic in football. You think about it. Each offense on average has 12 opportunities to score points. You got to score more points than the other guys to win, right? So if you're -1, then the other team has 13, you only have 11. Maybe not that big of a deal. But if you're -2 like Air Force is, now you've only got 10 opportunities and the other team has 14. That's where it starts to get significant and the swings become very, very meaningful. So that stat doesn't surprise me at all.
Well, Air Force has put in its 5th different quarterback this year. Pate Davis is now under center, getting some reps late in the game against the Irish, as the Falcons will drop to 1-7 overall, and they've got a huge game next week as they play Army. You know how much that means to both schools.
Yeah, I mean, it's see Lacoste there getting rolled up, getting tackled pretty quick, and that time it's Ben Sutsman being able to get up there. But the Commander-in-Chief's trophy, I don't care what the record is. The Commander-in-Chief's trophy is the thing that matters to the academies. So a win over Army for Air Force would be huge and significant and a great morale booster for what's been a pretty tough year for Troy Calhoun and his Falcon team.
Air Force will just run out the clock here in the 4th quarter. As we take a look at the Falcons' schedule the rest of the way. All Mountain West games after the game against Army. Their only win in the opener came against FCS Colgate.
Yeah, and I think the 2 most winnable games are the next 2 on their schedule.
Air Force already lost earlier this year to Navy, 28-10. 10 seconds to go in this game. Irish fans on their feet celebrating Notre Dame's 6th win of the year. Fittingly, Kendall Moore, who had a big game, makes the final tackle for the Irish, and that will do it. Brian Kelly's club wins its 3rd straight, and the Irish go to 6-2 on the season. They continue their dominance in this series against Air Force.
Yeah, you can see the obvious mutual respect between those 2 coaches. 2 of the better coaches in the country, I think. And Tommy Rees and what he's been able to do this year, and particularly in these last couple days, has been very, very impressive.
Had some choices for our Napa play of the game. After all, Tommy Rees threw 5 touchdown passes. And it's the back shoulder toss to Brown that gets our Napa play of the game.
Well, it could have been any of them. Just deadly accurate, great choices, really taking advantage of what the defense gave them. Air Force knew that they were going to have to be aggressive. And that young man right there was able to take advantage of it. And I think Notre Dame's starting to turn the corner and gel at the right time of the year now on both sides of the football.
Career high 5 touchdown passes for Tommy Rees, moves into 3rd all time on the Notre Dame passing touchdown list, passing Ron Paulus. And now as Air Force sings its alma mater song, the Irish, out of respect, will stand right behind them.
This is what it's about.
As you said, Aaron, that's what it's all about. You saw Troy Calhoun right in the middle of all the Notre Dame players, a mutual respect on both sides of the football as the Irish walk off with a 45-10 win. Well, Tommy Rees, the star of the day for the Irish, and the Notre Dame quarterback is with Lauren Gardner.
Thanks, Andrew. Well, Tommy, we just saw the class that your team displayed in joining Air Force for their alma mater. What does it mean to you to be part of these Service Academy games?
Yeah, it's awesome. You know, we have so much respect, and you know, we're very thankful for everything these academies do for us, and you know, to be able to share the alma mater with us, it's a pretty special moment for all of us.
It's been a bit of a turbulent couple of weeks for you in terms of getting hurt against SC and bouncing back. In your mind, how did you get it done?
Yeah, it was a great week of preparation. The whole offense did a good job, from up front to outside, and had a good week of preparation, like I said, and then came out here and executed the game plan.
What kind of a message have you sent to Navy with a similar style offense in the way you guys played here today?
Yeah, I don't know if we're trying to send messages, but we got a similar opponent next week. I'm sure they do stuff differently on defense and offense, but we'll have another option attack type of game, and we just got to have another great week and get ready to play next Saturday.
Thanks, Tommy, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Good stuff. Thank you very much, Lauren. Aaron, as the Irish go to 6-2, what are you looking for from Notre Dame down the stretch of the season?
Continued improvement. We said to win on the road, you got to bring your run game and your defense. Well, they brought their defense and their number 11. I think Notre Dame just needs to continue to build, continue to execute on both sides of the ball, because they've got a real shot to finish this season undefeated, but it's going to take a great effort and execution.
Notre Dame will play Navy next week. Air Force squares off with Army. That'll do it from Colorado Springs. For Aaron Taylor, Lauren Gardner, our entire crew, I'm Andrew Catalan. For scores, highlights, features, and more, go to CBSSports.com. Tommy Rees lighting up the airwaves. 5 touchdown passes for the Notre Dame quarterback, a new career high. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. So long from Air Force. Let's go to Inside College Football.